What's going
Hey
on?
everyone.
How's everybody doing?
What's
I got
happening?
the
What's
mic
happening?
Ooh.
out. You know, it's heel Danny all day today.
Mhm.
Oh, let me tell you. What we've all talked about in the past was originally what we wanted to do. So we do the introduction for what's coming, right? Is we really wanted to rank all of the franchises in just one video, right? Not each individual movie, because we know there's going to be arguments between the four of us. And when Lucas is here, the
Oh,
five of us, there's going to be arguments. But you know what? What better way to go ahead and rank all of the franchise is over the next 12 months, if we take 12 franchises, that means four movies or more. We rank them individually, and then we come back next October and we do those 12 franchises. Then we'll all have all of that information to do that, and the battles will begin.
Yeah, that'll
Hmm.
work.
So, whew. So that's essentially the rules, guys, right? So for ranking a franchise, it's got to have more than four or more movies in a franchise. It can't have three movies in it. So Black Christmas, unfortunately, only has three movies, so that's out. We can't
ah,
have something like Trick or Treat in there because it's a great slasher movie, but it's just one
Mhm.
movie. So
Is it though?
that's where we're at with those.
It's multiple movies in one, but that's fine.
And what we learned, my friends, on the last episode, um, this has become a drinking game. So if you
oh, the big
see,
one. You got the
I
big
am
boy.
prepared. Yeah, I am prepared
Got
for today because I am expecting a lot of arguments.
Oh yeah, I
So,
got multiple of these on my table right here, buddy. Yeah.
Well, I
ah,
got my white lightning in here, so
And then the Yoo-hoo.
I already
yep,
took a shot
and
of
then the
moonshine.
yoo-hoo.
Got to put it in a
All
sippy
right, so
cup for
today
you.
we're going to be rank. Oh wow! But
That's
today we're
actually
going
not
to
a
be
bad
ranking
idea.
the Halloween franchise. Yeah, yeah. We have we're going to be going in order of release. We're going to be talking about the theatrical ones. Maybe some people throw in some producer and director cuts. I didn't watch those. 12 was enough for me. So honestly, I think before we all begin, like watching this franchise over again, there's some movies that I'm watching for the second time, which I may talk about when we get to those movies. But this franchise, honestly, is not aging well. No, not at all. Like going back, it hurts
No.
in some
Oh,
movies.
some of
Oh
these hurt
yeah.
to watch. Some of these, like, I had to like mentally like take a break for a whole day to before I revisited the series of these films just because of how bad some of these were, and it sucks. It's tragic to see such a legend in such shit movies.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
And I think this is
and we have
why growing up. Go ahead, Dave. Sorry.
no. Go ahead.
You
Go
good?
ahead.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
we're good.
this is why when I was growing up, like I only had a few icons, right? And even Dave, like me and him talked about it. Even as much as I didn't like Freddy, Freddy was in there always in the noggin, right? But
Yeah.
for some reason, Michael Myers was never there. And then rewatching this franchise, I'm like, that's why, you know?
yeah,
The concept behind the character is so awesome, and like even some of these movies themselves have such an amazing premise, but just not connecting them and then going completely off the rails in it's six. It's six is where it for me is where it just truly is like what the fuck is
Oh,
going on.
We'll get
well,
there.
hey, oh, wait, oh,
We'll get
oh,
there.
hey,
Yeah,
yeah,
we'll
we'll
get
get
there.
there.
Sorry, my bad. Sorry, my bad. Sorry, my bad. Sorry,
We'll
my
get
bad.
there.
My bad.
No
All right,
spoilers.
my bad. My bad. My bad. My bad.
Well, I
All
will
right, so
say
let's
this
see
for
who
the
we got with.
audience that is watching, though. I won't say which
Mhm.
one, but when we get to this particular film in the franchise, people are going to hate me because I am going to be like heel Danny and rip it apart. But it's like consider one of the most beloved entries in the franchise, you know.
Interesting.
So
Oh boy.
I
Should
hope
I,
you
you
smell
tell
what
me I
we're
got to drink
cooking.
now? All right, let's see. We got some people with us. We got Mr. CG Curtis with us. He's asking Marcus a question. Is that the Rob Zombie Halloween behind you, Marcus?
yep, 2007.
I
All
just
right.
want to make so many comments right now. Let's go.
Yeah. All
He
right.
said he got his
CG's got his
vodka.
vodka.
I
We
got my
got
moonshine, CG.
we got Robin Miller here. Hey, Robin. Thanks for joining
R
us.
Mill. That's my boy R Mill. What's going on?
We got Michael Joy. Thank you. How's it going?
Michael, what's up?
Look at all the people.
Alrighty, so I
Hello,
think
all.
it's time because it's gonna be a long one. So let me go ahead and pull up our tier list here for us, and we're going
I'm
in
not
order.
ready.
So we're starting with look. What the heck happened here? Look, I got a
Wait,
half a logo.
Oh no.
Basura.
All right, all right. Well, Halloween, 1978. Where do we think this is at, guys? So
Perfection. That
let's
is
start
S
with
class right there.
yeah, I'm with Danny on that one.
perfection.
Yeah, it's perfection, man.
Yeah, I would say as far as
Uh
like
oh.
how the franchise, as far as like franchises go, like all the movies in the franchise go, I would say that would have to rank probably in the S class.
yeah, I mean the movie
So we got
itself,
perfection
like
there.
yeah, perfection for the first one because just all around, man, it was the original score by Carpenter, just the presence of Michael always lurking around the corner, just the tension
Mhm.
throughout the film, man. Everything about that movie was like damn near perfect, to be honest, man. And it was just lightning in the bottle, especially for that time of film in the late 70s, you know. So
There
So
were things about the film that
Now,
annoyed me, but not things that needed to
like
be
what?
changed in order to like well one what the hell's her name? Lori's one friend,
Linda,
not Annie.
Linda,
Um
Linda,
yeah, can't stand her. Absolutely
Totally.
can't stand her.
totally. She
Uh
said it like 13
Yep.
times or 11 times
yeah,
in the
there
film.
are
Something
there
like
are
that.
for real.
some things that could have been explained a little bit better, just a little. There's some things that just a little less explanation than should have been given. Like it's like, oh yeah, Michael can just drive, and then there's like, oh yeah, well someone must have taught him. We just assume that that's how that happened.
Well,
But
we'll
Well,
connect
nothing
that
that
later.
well,
needed to be changed.
We'll
well.
connect that
Here's
later.
the deal. I'm gonna. These guys know. I like to deep dive because I direct and I write and all this other jazz. And let me tell you something. I deep dived in every single John Carpenter interview I can possibly get about this entire franchise. Okay, it doesn't sway my opinions
Mhm.
on him, right? But it just showed me what he had for Halloween. And
Mhm,
Halloween, the intention was never to show the kills because or being gory
mhm,
because one, it wasn't accepted at the time, but two, when you transition from radio to film, the radio horror, if you even notice in the classic Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the really most mind-boggling stuff was behind closed doors. That you just hear people
Mhm.
scream and whatever, whatever. And the deal with Michael, his intention is that he wasn't. You don't know. It was the audience. Is he really a man? Is he really possessed by something? We don't know. That's why there's
mhm,
no backstory, no nothing. One day he just ended up killing his sister, and one day he ends up breaking out, and they're like, "What's going on?" Because we're supposed to feel
Yep.
what the cast is feeling. And he said that he didn't want any emotions, anything, because he's the shape. He's the real life boogeyman, right?
mhm,
And all the creepiness, even for me, like I'm like, wow, why are they holding shots so long? Because it's creepy. He's just watching as she's walking, not even noticing. I'm like, dude, I would have cut like 3 times already in the film
mhm,
days now. But it was because it was just
Mhm.
like, it's
Uh-huh.
annoyingly like, oh my God, it's creepy. Him
mhm,
driving. Dr. Loomis doing that is such a 70s thing to say, though, because he's pissed. It's like a dad that's pissed. It's like, well, obviously someone taught him how to drive. Like, I don't know what's going on,
Yep.
right? Because that's the thing. It's a real dad thing that like he built this bond with Michael, and it's just like he's so pissed off that no one listened to him, and now he escaped, and he's just like, now I have to
mhm,
clean up your
Mhm.
mess. So he's just pissed, right? And it's just
Yep.
everything in this movie to make you guess, and also when he disappears at the end is because originally him and Deborah Hill wanted this as an anthology. So originally we could have got Trick or Treat before Trick or Treat was even a thing.
yep,
And so it was
Mhm.
supposed to be a one-off story. He didn't want to do part two, et cetera, et cetera. I'm telling you, this right here, you could have at least, if anthology-wise, can pick off other solo stories that doesn't need to necessarily connect and be the boogeyman of Halloween. And
mhm.
that's what I love about this movie.
Yep. I agree with you there. Now, I do have one complaint, to be honest with you.
The
And the
parents.
complaint that
What's
I
that?
have is
The acting.
no. Well, yeah. You know what? When we look at Bob's death scene annoys me because here he gets stabbed through the chest, pinned against the wall, and what did rigor mortis set in? He's like, standing there straight back.
Yeah,
toes
but I
are
did also have
pointed
an issue with that.
in the
Where's
air.
my
Well, his
notebook?
body wouldn't have, that knife wouldn't have been able to support his dead weight.
I mean,
neither
I
did
mean,
that
in
door.
Not at
all
all.
of these
Not at
movies,
all.
yeah, in all of these movies, when Michael does it with like a little pin, you're like, dude, come on, right? It's just the fact, and I get what you're saying, Dave. And the only reason why I give it
Yep.
some sort of grace is because it was a low budget indie film. It was literally low budget indie film, and they didn't expect it to blow up the way it wanted to. But his intention was not to build up Michael like Jason came out after, but other legends before. He just wanted to be a legendary status right out the gate for part one, and he created it. Because of him, we got Jason and everybody else ripping off of Michael Myers and trying to one up it. You know, but I get you, man. There's a lot of stuff I give grace to because I have to remember. I'm like, yo, if I had no money, I'd be doing the same thing. Cheesy.
Yeah, my two gripes with it
Yeah.
is Michael's parents in the beginning when they find him outside, especially the mom where she just got her hands in her pocket and chewing gum, and then y'all know how much of
Well,
a
we got a
dog
real
lover
problem
I am.
here, don't
Michael, Michael killing the dog, man. I was like, damn, you know.
Yeah, and that
Or
happens a lot in this franchise too.
Yeah,
It did.
They put up Lori for like? Why was Lori put up for adoption? Like that just also just seems like a really weird thing to have happened.
She,
like I
she
would have, like it
wasn't
would have been
in the first one.
Laurie Strode.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, all right.
in the
Well, we're
original,
jumping ahead here, guys.
yeah, in the original, there was no intention of her being his sister and adopted. There's again, like I said, it was supposed to be originally an anthology. Each Halloween movie was supposed to be different, but the studios pushed John Carpenter to write a second one, and he didn't want to. He made them brother and sister. He said in his interview, drinking beer drunk, and he wrote himself into a corner. He goes, "How do I make this progress? Oh, okay, I'll just make them brother and sister."
Yep. Alrighty, so I think we're all pretty much essentially good with where it stands at, with that being a perfection. So I'm in the process of actually fixing this tier list. I know what's wrong with it, but let's take a look at Halloween 2. So I'm gonna drop it here and to perfection at the moment. But what does everybody think about this one?
That right there is filler. That one is filler, son.
What?
Filler.
I'm taking the
filler.
Shot.
It's a filler, dude. Filler. Listen, because you added. Listen, if it wasn't. Listen, the original list that Dave gave me, filler was the last one, but he put trash on the bottom, which I thank you for taking my request so importantly. So I appreciate you, Dave. So since you put trash on there, it's not trash, but dude, it is absolute filler to the max. That director did not get the essence of Michael. We saw Michael way too many times. This is a dude in a suit just walking around killing people. He became a typical slasher. He was not the boogeyman anymore. I'm telling you, bro. It's the same. Again, this is the same gripe I have with other films, but yeah, that is filler. Filler.
I'm gonna let nephew go before I jump in.
I think we only saw him more because he was killing more.
No, dude, he was walking around town like there was nobody's business. He didn't do the pop up like hiding, disappearing, reappearing. You saw Michael more in this movie than you did in the first one.
Well, he was shot 6 times, man. He was injured.
And what? He was walking around like nothing happened around town, like crazy.
Slower, and no one, if you notice, he was much slower.
But no one noticed him. He's walking around town, bro, and this gigantic, well, not gigantic like Rob Zombie, but this big dude in a mask, fucking just walking around, waltzing around. And then the fact that we knew where he was gonna. No, but again, we knew where he was going to be at all times, dude, which is not what it's supposed to be. We knew, oh, yep, he's in the hospital. Oh, yep, he's there. Oh, yep, he's behind in the car. Yep, he's like it. The thing about Michael being a boogeyman is that you never knew. You never knew. And he was just blatantly on screen. Filler, dude. Filler.
Yeah. Come on. I don't think so. Go ahead, Noah. What do you got to say after this?
I don't know. I think it was an elevation of the first movie because the second movie it had better kills, better scenes, and it felt even though it showed a broader area, like you see like now the kids go, like the mom taking the kid to the hospital, the woman on the news talking about what was happening, and all the people finally, like the cops finally finding the bodies, and you see kids trick or treating. Like it's a bit like you see a bigger setting, but it still feels very enclosed, and like it's like Michael is still suffocating you in the background, because while you do see him more, when people aren't seeing him, they're still thinking that they see him. Like when they unalive that one kid, and they're searching all over for him. So he is kind of the boogeyman in the movie in the same regard, because even though he's nowhere near where they're looking for him in the first half of the movie, he's still lurking over their shoulders. So I don't know. I think that the way that they played that,
Trash.
I think that you're playing a little too hard with this one.
No, no, it's not too hard. Like I said, it's just a filler because even just put it to you this way, and this is how you know John Carpenter wrote himself into a corner. Take out right now, Laurie and him being brother and sister, and the movie goes exactly the same way. It doesn't play any impact on the movie. Goes exactly the same way. I'm
That doesn't
telling you,
make the
yes,
movie
it
bad,
does.
though.
Yeah, but again, the boogeyman you don't know. He again, every time Laurie looked and he was there, looked again, he's gone. Is it a figment of her imagination or is he real?
Yeah, this is
Right?
true. Yeah, in the first one, he did
Then-
disappear a lot.
And then all of a sudden he kills these teenagers when people showed up. He's not there. It's not like a brutal bloodbath that he kills everyone else. So they're like, what the fuck is happening in this town? In this small town
Mhm.
that nobody knows anything. But in part 2, he is rummaging around and just killing people. And on top of that, they showed more blood because they told John Carpenter that this one had to up its game because Friday the 13th and other people were doing blood and gore
All right,
when
all right.
it was not necessary. Come on.
Before we move on to Marcus's, so we got filler from you, Danny. Noah, where are you dropping it at?
I would put it in perfection, because you would have to elevate from what the first one was. You would have to elevate from what the first one originally showed, because it's not the same movie. It's a progression to what would be
Alright.
considered the final act in this series between these two movies.
Mhm. All right, Marcus, what do you got? So where are you going with this one?
So I'm going against Danny on this one because Halloween 281 personally is my favorite of the franchise. Even though John Carpenter said he was drunk and he just did it to, be doing it because he was forced to do it. To me, I felt like it was a perfect bookend for the original film because of the fact that he killed off Loomis, he killed off Michael. It was the end of Laurie's story, and that's why the next one comes along. But I just love the idea of the claustrophobic feeling in that hospital, even though that's not realistic because we know hospitals aren't that empty. But still just that claustrophobic feeling.
Especially not on Halloween.
Yeah, and then Michael being injured, so he's like moving slower and stuff, but he's still a huge threat. Dick Warlock, to me, I loved him as Michael. So yeah, it's perfection.
Ugh.
Perfection. Oh, look at us. It's going up the ranks. It's going up the ranks. Now, so it's not going to be full perfection because we got somebody marking it as filler. But I'm going perfection here too. And I have to say the Halloween feel for this movie, with it being in a dark hospital like that. No, I don't know if you were with me the one time. We went up to a hospital to visit my father, and it was abandoned. It was a Sunday morning, lights were out and everything, and it was creepy as hell. And being a kid, this is the first Michael Myers movie that I saw. I didn't see Halloween 1. I saw Halloween 2 first because I remember the ads on TV with Michael stalking in the hospital, and that was just more terrorizing than the first one.
So nostalgia is what's getting you, Dave. I get it. All right.
No, I think it's a better kill. So there, like with the first film, there are some gripes that I have with it. One being
is it
that
nostalgia or is it trauma?
Or is it the trauma?
I think it would be considered trauma because you're watching that as a kid, scarring you for life, and now it's like, oh my god, is Michael gonna be in this abandoned hospital that I'm looking at?
Like I said,
I saw this. I saw this 6 years after I saw my first horror film, which was either The Thing or American Werewolf in London, and I was 4 years old. So it was certainly not trauma.
And I would consider Halloween scarier than those.
Listen, man, I don't know, man. It's not the way John Carpenter intended. The director didn't get the feel for Michael. Way too much for me, man. It's just I don't know.
Just because it's not the way John Carpenter intended does not make it not good film.
Yep.
No, but again, it's not horror.
We're going based off of the movie itself.
Of course, but what I'm saying is, it's not horror, man. You see
is
the
it not
dude
horror?
everywhere. No jump scare. It literally became more
Horror is
of
not
just
just
a
about
normal.
jump scares.
It's a normal stereotypical slasher with no creep feel in it, compared to
Man,
Wait a
part
minute.
one.
How is it normal, stereotypical creep feel when it's ahead of its game? We're not talking like it came out
yo,
last week or 5 years ago or 10 years
It
ago.
came out
We're
in
talking about in the
1981,
early 80s.
and prior to that,
Yeah.
Friday the 13th came out in 1980, and that was playing along the lines of the first Halloween movie, where you never
hold
saw
on.
Pamela Voorhees until the end of the movie, when you actually found out that it was Pamela. So I mean,
Hold
if we're
on.
Yeah,
going
but
based off
at
that,
the
it was
same
still ahead of
time,
its
though,
game. So it's not a
at
typical
the same
slasher
time,
at that point.
though, which again, yes, it was, because when it came to Friday the 13th, then we entered witchcraft, and at the time in the 80s, everyone was very scared of voodoo. Hence why Chucky and a bunch of other movies were based off of voodoo and black magic, and hence why another film in this one went off of the whole spiritual woo woo thing as well.
Hold
All
on.
right.
One of the
But
I'm
that's
not-
not
one of
anything to do with
horror's
Halloween 2.
hold on. One of horror's biggest scenes to this day that a lot of people still credit was that jump scare of Michael in the doctor's office with the nurse
Mhm.
and the syringe.
Dude,
To this
Mhm.
day,
That-
and even though that was copying him coming out the shadow of the first film, it was still brilliantly done, because all you had was the ambient light of the fish tank and the light coming out the bathroom, and it was just
dude,
All
the,
right,
the one
let's-
thing I have to give Halloween 2 credit for, though, my favorite scene in it is when the dude went to turn off the hot water, and you just see in the background through the foggy mirror of Michael killing him. Dude, that is literally one of my favorite scenes, I have to say, in the franchise, though. I have to give credit in that. I have to give credit for that
All
one,
right.
at least.
All right, let's see what we got there going on in the comments here. So we got
We got a lot.
CG saying that the movie is perfection. But yeah, he's going, look at this. Look, what Danny wants, an Oscar-winning horror film. I can't wait to hear what Danny thinks is better. All right, that's a good
Oh,
one.
you're going to see. You're going to see.
Now we got Michael Joy going. Michael walked through the glass in part 2. Dude, he headbutts a door later in this franchise and
hold on.
shatters the door. So
And they
Wouldn't it be a
use
must-
that
Oh my
so
God.
much. They use that
Wouldn't it be a
so
must-
much in the damn franchise.
Wouldn't it
To be
be a
fair, if
must
we're
watch
talking about
because of Donnie's
unrealistic,
rating?
he
Danny's
pulled
rating
himself
and all
off
of
of a
ours?
noose in this movie.
all right. What were you saying, Marcus?
Wouldn't it be a must watch because of Danny's rating and all of us was perfection?
Yeah, I got it up must watch. I got
Oh,
Halloween 2
it
up
was
must
down
watch.
there.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, it
We
was
got only
surprisingly
one
decent up
sitting
there.
with the perfect perfection from all of us.
Okay.
All right,
All right,
so
let's go to part
take a
3.
look here. Let's go to part 3. We're gonna drop it right in the middle for now, and we'll work our way out of the middle. So, Danny, go ahead for part 3. You can
Yeah,
start.
let
us off.
Hill Danny go first on this one.
Part 3 is perfection, son. Part
Now I
3
love you,
was
brother.
so dope.
Now I love
Was
you,
so
brother.
dope. Was so dope. Listen, the thing again, it was supposed to be an anthology, and the opening scene with the damn killer gave me Michael Myers vibes like it's supposed to. Way better than part 2. You didn't see who it
that was a great
was.
opening scene.
Again, you didn't see who it was. He hid, he stalked, he moved around, and then when you saw him, still walked like that Michael Myers creepiness, and then killed himself. And I'm like, oh shoot, what is going on? I didn't even know until later on when, like, because I like to figure movies out quickly. As when they were like, oh, we didn't find any bones. I'm like, that bitch is a robot. And then sure enough, it was. But dude,
Yep.
I love that it was different, but it still felt like a Halloween movie. And the fact that that was their original intention, I was like, yes, I could see every Halloween being a different movie. You can do a callback to Michael, later in the series, like the Legend of Michael Myers, whatever, right? Just popping up somewhere other than Haddonfield. But also, then is Michael Myers, the next one that shows up, is Michael Myers, or is it the shape? Right? You just call him Michael Myers because of the mask, but it could just be a shape using a different vessel, if you will. So I loved that they went this route. The little woo-woo thing with Stonehenge, I was like, all right, whatever. It was a little campy, but love that. But the fact of the matter is there were some things in the movie that I was like, yo, this is annoying. Why is this happening? And it paid off in the end because it was a countdown to kill everyone in the United States, all the kids. And I was like, that is brilliant. And also the fact that they they threw us off a little bit. I have a little bit of gripe with this. Is that all after you realize they're robots and all of them are like doing the robotic thing, and you're like, oh yeah, you can definitely tell now it's a robot. But we briefly got to see remember he said he was trying to perfect them.
Yep.
When the girl at the end with the plot twist that she ended up being a robot. I knew it was gonna happen when she was strapped down, but the way she was acting normal, I was like, oh shoot, okay, never mind. And then she ended up being one. I was like, dope. But I would love to see more of that, come out in the film that of normal people that we thought was normal were in on it. There were robots. I mean, dude, I can't say enough good things about this, man. It was really good from being different, but an incredible Halloween movie, man. I was surprised. Listen, I was so surprised. So surprised.
I have to,
to
second Danny on that one. Is Halloween 3 is perfection for me, man, because actually
wow, we got 2.
Yeah, the only issue I had with the movie, honestly, was the way they took out Cochran. That was it. I was like, okay, that's a little bit.
Thank you.
But other than that, I was like, movie was just it was perfect, man. It was just everything about it was creepy. It was like Danny said in the beginning, you didn't know who the killer, the stalker was, you know what I mean, until they actually revealed themselves. So I was like, man, this is different. And then knowing that it was a departure from the previous 2 films, I thought it was just pure, brilliance, So yeah.
And
then Tom
looks like you
Atkins
had
is
something
one
to
of the
add.
coolest actors in the game, bro. Like,
oh yeah, he commanded the screen in this movie. Commanded the screen.
Yeah,
dude, I loved it because where do you want to sleep? That's a stupid question. That boy got some. Oh hell yeah, yo, smooth boy. It's like James Bond in a horror movie. Smooth.
I mean, even flirting with the nurse in the beginning, the old black woman. I was just like, hey, Tom Atkins is cool, bro. That's my dude right there, man.
Smooth.
All right. No, what do you got to add?
So, when he said when Danny said about the spirit or the shape being like a spirit possessing other beings to, I guess enact evil, it would make sense as well thinking about it because there are points in time when Michael is not on a spree. So that could be when the shape is possessing somebody else to enact their bidding of evil. That is something interesting to note. I also this is actually watching these movies through. This is my first time watching this movie.
Okay.
I was originally told to by many people to probably skip it because going through my first time through all these movies because people said that it wasn't worth watching because Michael wasn't in it. So watching it, I won't say that it is perfection because there are parts of the movie that it's not a perfect movie. I would say that it is a must watch though. I really did enjoy Halloween 3. I think it's a lot better than what people give it credit for. It does suck that Michael's not in it. That could be considered a drawback, but not enough to say that it's a bad movie. What's up?
Technically, he's in
no
twice.
Well, he's in the cameo with the movie.
Yeah, on the TV screen twice.
Yeah.
But you know what though? Loved it, man. I have to say,
something that I didn't think wasn't needed in the movie. I actually made a point of that I don't think that it was needed in the movie because then it closes a window that was never really there technically, but it closes a window to connect it into anything else.
Yeah.
However,
no, I get you.
That's just me wanting something else from this franchise.
Now, this is the first Halloween movie that I ever saw. So I remember, watching this as a kid every time it was on TV. The masks are what kind of drew me to this film when it used to be on TV. I love the masks.
They're great.
Those are great. And you look at it for the time period that it's in, I think it still holds up, especially those masks that when they were made back then. And you have to figure like every single retro nostalgia 80s throwback movie that we see today, it almost feels like it throws back to this movie, like with the way the music is laid out, the way the scenery is done. It all kind of feels like it pulls from Halloween 3 a little bit. Now, I will say this, like the one thing I didn't care about the movie is like they all had a curfew, right? They had a curfew in that town. Everybody had to go home except for one shop. There's one shop on the main street where Tom Atkins went after he had sex with the nurse to get some stuff afterwards, maybe get some smokes or something like that. So that kind of threw me out. Like I like the curfew, and there's like, well, why is that guy open? What special privileges does he have? So I'm kind of here with Noah. I think it's a must watch. I'm actually leaning more towards surprisingly decent because
Oh,
if we look at everybody's opinions of it, it's surprisingly decent. Now let
nah,
me see
man.
here.
The
Go ahead.
thing is, also, I have to put is that out of all the Halloween movies, this is the first time the good guys don't win, which is amazing, which
That
is
we know of.
absolutely incredible. No, because remember, it ends
They didn't stop
because
the
they
commercial.
wouldn't turn it off.
Yeah,
They didn't stop it on the third channel.
Yep.
He kept telling them, he goes, they remember, he said, please turn it off. First one, right? They played a little bit and you didn't think it was going to go off and it goes off. Second channel, same thing. And then third channel, they already did the little flash.
Yep.
And once the flash gets going, that's when the mask activates.
Yep.
So the good guys didn't win. And like I said, it was just also to your point, Noah, for before, is that the reason why I said the thing about Michael and the thing I love about this movie is that there was no rhyme or reason. It was just pure evil. Like these guys, they celebrated. Okay, and there was a bunch of callbacks to Halloween 2 because Halloween 2 was the first time you heard about the Celtic ceremony, all this other jazz, yada yada. And so they did a callback to Halloween 2, which was great to play off of it. But then when he asked why, it was just like because it wasn't even for tradition. It was just like, this is the way, right? Like this is the whole cult, if you will, of evil. And it just plays off of Michael is pure evil, right? There's nothing else.
Would have been a great
there. So I love that.
But no, we got what they gave us instead. That random
Yes,
lady
you're right,
that was
Michael.
the,
So
that
we
was her
got
father.
Michael Joy saying people hate Halloween
Could've been
season of
Lori.
the witch. They
That
want the
could've-
Michael
that could've-
back. Yep.
Could have been Lori.
CG's right there with you. Take Michael Myers out of your mind. Just call it Season of the Witch, and then that movie would be a classic Halloween movie in the general trilogy.
Well, see, CG,
All
the
right, so
thing
now
I'm
we're
also
is,
fine
moving
with
like
calling
Danny
it Halloween
mentioned,
3 Season of the Witch.
Yeah, but like I said, Halloween originally wasn't supposed to be surrounded by Michael
anthology.
Myers.
Yep.
It's supposed to be anthology.
Yeah.
And each movie is set on Halloween.
Yep.
That's why it was called Halloween. Yeah.
You gotta take that. Look, take that out of your mind. It was meant to be a certain way, but it's not that way. It's not what we got. All right, let's talk about Halloween 4. So
You started
Marcus,
off, man. You
let's
haven't
kick
started
it off.
off yet. All right.
Yeah, you started off, Dave.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
started.
Return to Michael Myers. Return of Michael Myers. Halloween 4. So I really like this movie, as corny and cheesy as this movie is. I love having the different aspect in there where Laurie Strode's gone. We explain why she's gone. We have Danielle Harris, and we're actually starting to see where really evil is starting to come to shape here, right? We have Loomis that becomes a little bit more obsessed than he should be, and he's starting to show the dark terror that's haunted his life and his obsession. So I like this movie. I'm not going to say it's perfection, but I am going to start it off with it being a must watch. And just real quick, some of my notes I got on Halloween 4 here. Let's see. Well, for one, Rachel's dialogue absolutely horrible. I thought the dialogue for her was crazy. But like I was mentioning, with the evil starting to take place, the townsfolk, right in the middle of this movie, like we kind of see in later films, they kind of get overrun with this fear and terror of Michael Myers being back, and that's where you actually start to see the evil spread through the entire town. So I thought that was really good.
I will say I did like Rachel. Her lines were stupid, but most of the lines were kind of garbage in this movie.
Yeah.
But Rachel was a character that I actually genuinely liked from the film. I liked that she was gonna be the potentially next Laurie Strode of the franchise.
And I thought it was an interesting twist because we see that psychic connection. Yeah.
Yeah.
Marcus, what do you got?
I got it as a must watch as well. It's a lot going for it. Like you said, the dialogue is bad, but the performances themselves from the actors with what they had to work with were good. The atmosphere of the movie was great. A lot of the awesome shots of like Michael just creeping in the background.
Even though it was filmed in darkness, it still had good illumination throughout the film, which is great.
Yeah, and then just I mean, Danielle and what's my man's name who played Loomis? were just phenomenal.
Donald Pleasance?
Donald Pleasance were just
Donald
phenomenal in
Pleasance.
the film.
Mhm.
Yeah, they were just phenomenal in the film. And then I mean, all of us are guys here. Forgive the ladies there in the crowd, but who didn't love Sheriff Meek's daughter back then?
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Look, that's why
Mhm.
most people watched 80s horror movies back then, right?
Yeah,
That was one of the
didn't
main
love?
draws was for teenagers back
Yeah,
then.
who didn't love
Oh
Kathleen
boy.
Kinmont in the role, man?
Decent
You know?
storytelling, no. Titties.
Yeah, but
You
no,
know,
overall it was just a cool movie.
mm-mm.
Like the intro of the movie was great. You know what I mean? With the ambulance crashing and everything, all of it.
Yeah.
It was just a fun film, man.
But it
Yeah, it
also
was
has
just a
one
fun
of the
film.
stupidest kills too, the thumb through the skull.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
It's
yeah,
like,
yeah,
what? Come
yeah,
on.
Yep.
yeah,
Well, I guess it's starting to show that he's less of a man and more of
yeah.
a
Supernatural
beast
being.
now
Yeah.
than anything else.
Yep. All right. So, Danny, we'll let you close out on this one. Noah, what do you got?
Well, yeah, I mean, I genuinely did enjoy this film. I think that the first 4 movies of this franchise are really strong. I think Daniel Harris with the visions and everything, very cool. Loved it.
Mhm.
And then also seeing the end of the movie, she is now the next
Yep.
vessel for the shape,
Mhm.
and she carries on the evil. And then it finally shows that Halloween 3 makes sense because in Halloween 4, Michael's now gone, as we saw, which it should have been.
Mhm.
Michael's gone, and she's the next entity of evil. And then even like we'll talk about it more in 5, but like in 5, it would have been great to see her struggle between this duality of her actually being a good, like a genuinely decent human being, and now fighting against this evil that's inside her. Would have
Mhm.
loved that. Would have loved it. But and then you could have introduced the cult in a better way instead of, having them show up at the end. They're actually doing all of the unaliving throughout this movie. Whatever. I like the 4th one. I wouldn't put it at a must watch. I'd probably put it at surprisingly decent.
Ooh.
Mm.
All right. All right. So, Danny.
So because you added my new ranking of trash, which again I appreciate, Dave. This one, it to me is an acceptable time waster. It's an
Mhm.
acceptable
All
time
right.
waster. And the reason why I say it's an acceptable time waster is because you kill off your final girl saying that, and I get it, Jamie Lee Curtis did not want to return for Halloween, so I get it, they had to do something. But this is where, like me and Noah were saying before, you could have just had this little girl become the shape in a different way, right? You didn't have to tie in that she's related to Laurie
It's called
Strode at all
Halloween,
whatsoever.
not called Michael Myers.
Yeah, and it's not
Uh-huh.
called Laurie Strode either. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
So like with Laurie gone, you could have literally had this as a passing on because without Laurie, there's no Michael, right?
Uh-huh.
As we discussed before. So that was one of the big thing. Another thing is because, like we said, ladies, so sorry, but have you noticed that all the girls had little ones? This is why horror movies went wrong, son. This is where this franchise went wrong. They went from big ones to little ones, and this is the descent of Halloween. I'm
Not
kidding.
Kathleen Kinmont, bro.
Exactly right. But the deal is when with this whole story, there was a lot of loose ends that I didn't like, a lot of cheesy kills that I didn't like, but it was watchable. It wasn't absolutely garbage. It wasn't filler to me. It was like, okay, cool. I can see where they're going with this, right? So, and then one of my favorite things of this film, though, is the passing of the torch of the new shape. I do love that. Do I like that it's his niece? No. It's like I said, it should have been something else. But yeah, like I said, acceptable time waster. So if you guys enjoy it, cool, watch it. But it's not to me like a big like, oh my god, it's decent or whatever. It's all right at best to me.
All right. Let's see what we got out there. So we got Peter Wooderman. Hey, thanks for joining us. H4 is a great movie. The Mask was among the worst, especially when the poster had the original mask.
So I got to
What the
comment
fuck
on that
was
This
one
is the this is
because
the start
as a
of the
fan,
downfall of the masks throughout the franchise.
Yep.
I have to say that me personally, I wish Michael would have stayed in the gauze mask. Throughout the
Right?
film.
That's what I was
The
thinking.
gauze, yeah, that was cool.
That was sick. That mask was sick.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And it would have
cool.
made sense for him to have, stayed in it the entire film.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, being burnt and all. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got Michael agreeing. Michael looks so good in H4 if he had the 78 mask on.
Yeah, it would have been. Yeah.
Curtis has got it's a must watch. Alrighty, so we are moving on to Halloween 5. So since I kicked off this last one, Marcus,
So where are
where
we ranking for then officially?
Oh, you're on
surprising?
6. You're on 6. 5
Oh,
is
I'm on 6.
Revenge.
Surprisingly decent. So we got acceptable time waster. We got must watches in there. So that's where we average out at.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh,
So for 5, I have to put filler, man. For 5.
all right.
I
Okay.
was I was so
My man.
disappointed. I was so disappointed with that film, especially coming from 4 and what they had set up, and
Yeah.
for it to not
Mhm.
have been paid off in 5.
Thank
The
you.
Matt. Now,
Yep.
don't get me wrong. I love Don Shanks as Michael.
Yep.
But I just wish they would have stuck with the Doctor Death unalive scene. It was so much
Mhm.
going on behind the scenes that ruined the film with what we got. Tina was one of the most annoying characters, as beautiful as she was. I love the actress, but the character herself was just annoying as hell. Like she
Yep.
ruined the movie for me.
Mhm.
I will say the cool thing, the thing that I loved the most about that movie was the brute mask that he wore, that he took from
Mm.
Tina's
Mhm.
boyfriend. Because I
Yeah,
got
I
that
love
mask
that
in
he
my closet.
changed his
I love that
mask.
mask. Yeah, I love
Mhm.
that mask. But yeah, it's just filler for me, man. That movie was just bad all around. Yeah.
I am. I'm thinking here. Right now, I'm kind of hovering. I'm going with acceptable time waster when I'm starting to think about the other movies in the franchise, because and it would be filler or possibly even garbage for me if there was no Danielle Harris in this movie and her character being the mute and performing the way she did. Because there's a lot of
Mm.
things that I don't like the doofus cops. Like, come on, they
Oh
have their
God,
own
with
corny
the
It's just
clown
music in it.
music.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
it's
then
just so gag humor. It's so stupid.
yeah, and then Danny, you probably know, maybe you know this, but then we're offering Rachel early on in the movie just to swap her out with her best friend Tina, who now acts like her sister. It's like, what the hell are we doing?
Dude,
So,
that like if
Exactly.
you
yeah,
set her up so well in 4 and then you
Yeah.
fucking kill her in the 5th one. For what reason? Like why
Yeah.
yep,
why waste a character like that? No one cares about Tina. She could have been easily killable.
hmm
And I with Danielle Harris's performance too. That's something that I noted that I loved her performance. It was so great. It was
hmm
it was really probably one of the
The
few
only
saving graces
redeemer.
of this movie, that
Yeah.
and Donald
hmm
Pleasant kind of carries the movies and everyone that he's in. I,
Well, he was drunk in all of 5, if you know the story behind it.
Yeah,
So,
I saw
honestly,
that.
honestly, wouldn't it's understandable. It's understandable.
I saw that. I saw the descent in his acting too, right? Like
Mhm.
you just see as this like Halloween franchise progressed, his acting became way like over the top. I don't
hmm
give a shit, yada yada. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It just seemed more like
Feel
a
it in excess.
burdensome than yeah, yeah, yeah.
hmm
Yeah.
But what I have to say about 5 is I have it at filler too as well. And the
All right.
reason why I have it as filler is because, like all of us agreed on, you set it up beautifully that she's a new shape, and then you retcon it immediately, right out the
Mhm.
gate. There's no rhyme or reasons why you retconned it. It's just immediately retconned. And then
hmm
on top of that, like you said, killing off. Oh my god, killing off Rachel. Here's the deal, dude. The fact if you fridged her for a reason, right? Like it progressed the story forward for a reason. There's got to be a payoff for it, sure. But like we said, you just swapped it. I don't care if the actress doesn't even want to do it anymore. Then
hmm
Rachel's on vacation with her family and for 2 weeks, something,
It was just
right?
so stupid. It was so
hmm
Yeah,
stupid.
dude. Yeah, man. There's a better way of doing this. You don't
hmm
have to kill off every character of an actor or actress that doesn't want to come back if that was the case, or anything else, right?
But she was
Like,
in like 2/3 of the movie.
dude, they killed her off right away though. She was like the first one to go. It was
Yeah, she
one of
was
the
the
first
first
ones
to
to
go.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
she
Second.
was still in it for like a
Second.
decent amount, and like she was in it like technically at the end as well. It's like it was just it's just such a stupid use of her
Stupid.
character overall.
hmm
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
dude. And
Yep.
then the performance was great. I get it, the trauma. That's why she doesn't want to speak. Yada yada.
hmm
That's cool. That's cool as hell, man. All right. But
Yeah,
everything else, man, it was just it wasn't absolute trash, but it was painful for me to watch. I was like, oh,
Wow.
yeah, it was
Wow.
it's
painful. It was
bad.
again, it wasn't super painful that I'm like immediate trash, like some of these
hmm
movies that we're gonna get to. But that one, I was just like, "Ooh, this is one of the." This is
Yeah,
when I was like, I felt the come down
Yeah.
from the Halloween.
two things haven't been
Yo.
mentioned about this movie. The first thing is you get the guy from the cult with the super cool boots, and that's all we see until
Oh, with the hat.
end
Yeah.
of the movie.
Yeah.
Until the end of the movie when he pulls out a Tommy gun and frees Michael. And first off, like I get it, he's supposed to be working with this cult of evil or whatever.
Uh-huh.
In
not even
what
mentioned, though.
world? Yeah, exactly.
Not
So in
until the
what
next
world,
one.
even if it is the
Mhm.
cult, because I think this is the when they originally showed the mark, unless it's a 6. But regardless, oh yeah, and why is the old man helping him after he tries to strangle him right in the beginning? Like that's
Yeah, I don't know.
but so it's not even mentioned that this is a cult. He frees him. In what reality is anybody able to free and then control and contain Michael Myers? That doesn't happen.
Uh-huh.
That doesn't happen. And then the second thing is Michael Myers is all of a sudden a carrier of emotion. So he's going to take out his niece Jamie, and then she goes, "Uncle."
Yeah.
And all of a sudden it's like, oh no, I can't do this. Since when
Oh.
his whole motivation throughout the first 4 movies is taking out all of his relatives? That's the whole point of the movies. I don't understand. I don't get it.
So
Noah, the
sidebar
intention
on
was this.
sidebar on the Man in Black before we reveal. Everybody knows who he is in the next movie, of course. But originally, it was supposed to be Michael's father.
Oh, that's dope. That would've been dope.
It was supposed to be Michael's biological father or whatever. And then they just dropped the ball on it with the script, so that's why it's unexplained in this.
Hadn't noticed.
Yeah.
Well,
No,
also in 5,
Fine.
they wanted to make him more human. So in 5, so remember 4, 5, and 6 is I forgot this director's name. It's his trilogy, right? So they wanted to make him more human for a setup in 6, which the director's cut, production's cut, did it well. The theater cut, not so much. I didn't get to watch fully the director's cut. I had to go on YouTube to watch it because, like I said, I crammed all these movies at once. But to make him human, though, it goes back to why I said as you go along in the series, you're getting further and further away of the boogeyman trope. Right now, you're getting into something totally different, and that's why, again, I'm like, I don't know, man. So.
So no, where you have this one on the tier?
Oh, I put it at filler. It's not like it's not. Oh, actually, you know what? Put it a step above for me. Put it a step above. We'll put it at acceptable
You
time
wanted
waster.
then we're at tie. We need to go to the comments.
Yeah, I'll put it at acceptable time waster because
stuff.
there are much worse films, and I feel like I'm putting a lot of them in the unwatchable garbage section. So I want to give some of these a chance.
Well, that's why you got to give some filler too, baby. You got to give some filler too.
Yeah. So out there in the comments, what do we got out there? Do we have acceptable time waster or filler? Let's take a look at some of the comments that we have coming in so far. So we have a new Danny. Somebody's competing with you for the heel crown. So
Let me see.
we have,
Who is it?
Oh yeah, we have Elevation Gaming saying Halloween 5 is better than Halloween 78.
Wait, what?
Shut
Hold
the fuck up! Get him out!
Hold on.
Get him
Taking
out
a
now!
shot.
Ban him! Ban this man!
You know what? Just because you said that, Elevation, Halloween Resurrection is the best Halloween movie of all time.
It's not even. See, that's the thing, though. People say Halloween Resurrection is the worst. Trust me, there are worse Halloween
Best movie
movies
of all
in this
time.
franchise.
The best of all time.
All right,
I can't believe
William.
he said that one. What's up, William?
William, how's it
That was
going?
ballsy. That was a ballsy
William.
comment.
Yeah.
What up, Will?
So we have Devontae Huntley.
There we go.
Swinging.
Boring movie, good for what it is, but nothing special.
That's filler right there, baby.
Yep.
All right. Yeah.
So it has to be filler. Devontae broke
Filler, baby. Yeah.
Yeah, that's okay. That makes
All
yeah,
right.
it's that's a valid choice.
Okay, so Noah, you get to
kick
kick
off
us
6.
off with.
Oh, I get to
Curse.
start off 6. Oh,
Yeah.
thank God. Put that
Am I just
down to
putting
the bottom,
All right.
my good sir.
My
Okay,
nephew.
so
That's
this
why I love my
movie,
nephew.
this movie is ruined with the first line, and in the first line, there's not even like anything on camera. It's all black, and it's just Uncle Michael, please don't hurt me. And then we cut to her having his ancestral child. What is this movie? And you got Psycho Paul Rudd playing Tommy, and then
His mind just exploded.
Like this is the movie where I had to take a break. Like I had to take a break for almost 2 days because I'm watching this movie and like my brain is shut off watching this movie, and then I get to the end the final act of the film, and it all just hits me in the head like a truck, and I'm like, what the fuck am I watching? Like this is the
Here, no, let me just sum it up for you.
God. Oh my fucking God. Okay, all right. Shh.
I
Yeah.
like genuinely think that I like what like it. This is the worst movie. Like anyone can say anyone that they want can say that Resurrection is the worst in the franchise. It is Halloween 6. This is the stupidest movie that I think I've ever seen. It ranks there as like some of the dumbest movies that I've ever seen. How this got an official production, but like with budget, I don't understand. It's how it got out in theaters. I don't get. It's just so awful.
To add to your Paul Rudd comment before we swing over to Danny, I'm just amazed. Like the baby's left at the bus station, right? Paul Rudd goes there the next day. Nobody notices there's a trail of blood from upstairs going down to a bathroom
Oh
with
yeah,
the
this
baby
is normal.
crying.
Right?
This is
Nobody
normal for the
noticed,
bus station.
Yeah.
And also, what role did the kid play? Like the kid's like the kid's supposed to be like a duality between good and evil. He almost stabs the one dad. What did he fucking do? He kind of deserved it. Everyone would have agreed in that situation that he deserved to be stabbed, just in general as a person. And then, like,
Uncle
are you telling
Strode.
me right now that this kid's mother, when she sees the kid running into the house where Michael is, that she wouldn't have automatically run in there to try and save her stepbrother anyways? Like, the kid, there was no motivation for this kid because there wasn't really a duality of evil. There's the grandma who doesn't talk all movie and then is all of a sudden a part of this cult.
She talks in the beginning.
I
No, she
babysat
talks
it.
in the beginning. Yeah.
My bad. I'm sorry. I forgot about maybe like her three words in the beginning. But, like this movie is just and then like what did this woman do? The main character. What did she do that she walks out of their lives and comes back for after 5 years? That kid is older than 5. So
It was
what
evil.
happened?
Evil.
Evil.
Town.
Evil.
This movie is just it's just there's nothing happening. I don't understand.
I made it through it, so that's a positive. So, Danny, what do you got?
Yo, this movie was surprisingly decent, son. It was surprisingly decent. Yes, sir. It was surprisingly decent. It was surprisingly decent. Yes, it was.
That's crazy.
And I'm gonna tell you why too. Especially because y'all two only watched the theater cut. You didn't watch the director's cut. Okay, I watched the theater cut, and then I looked up the director's cut scenes. Listen. So the intention of this movie was to free Michael Myers of the curse. So again, callback to Halloween 2, 3, 4, 5, and up to 6 about this cult, about the evil on the Celtic holiday of Halloween. And basically what happens is at the end, which a lot of people don't like, a lot of people do like, is that they actually free Michael with the ruins that they showed throughout the movie. Remember in the theater cut, it never made it. But the importance of the ruins in the movie was to free Michael from the curse from Halloween. So they end up doing it, and he turns to a normal dude and just ends up living his life and walks away because he was possessed by evil. It was incredible, right?
How is that better?
Way better, because then it's now could open up other avenues to someone else being this evil, right? But not only that, it's just the pacing, guys. Honestly, this is the only reason why I said it, to be honest. The pacing of the movie.
And I work in accounting now.
Yep, exactly. My name is Michael.
A family of 5.
No, it's just the pacing.
I used to slay the bitches. Now I slay the numbers.
Yeah, exactly. No, the pacing of the movie, guys. The pacing of the movie, like after 5, it was just painfully slow. This was really good pacing with the kills, good pacing, and trying to just wrap up loose ends in this godforsaken, like horrible trilogy that just ended up happening compared to the first 3 movies, right? And
okay,
so what?
Theatrical or director's release? Let's Uncle Michael, please don't hurt me, has his child. That's it. That's the movie and it's ruined.
Doesn't bother me, but they do kill.
Stupid.
They do kill her different. They do kill her different in the director's cut. in the director's cut, she's in the hospital, and the cult comes and they shoot her in the face. So, which is goddamn moment. But again,
Killing Jamie.
I
was
like
stupid.
the pacing. I like the pacing better than the others, and I like that you try to get more into lore rather than just pointless killing after 5. So, yep, surprisingly decent.
Marcus, where are you at?
So for me, 6 theatrical and producers cut, I would say unwatchable garbage. Just all around because one, it was just the whole incestuous. Like I get the whole thing trying to free Michael of I did like that aspect of using the runes at the end and him being able to break the curse and everything. That was cool. That was a highlight for me of that movie, but the rest of it was just pure garbage, man. And then we do find out the man in black is Dr. What is his name?
Dr. Loomis's friend.
Yeah, his
Which-
Some other
yeah.
old guy with white
And then
hair.
he's the one that taught. Yeah, he's the one that taught Michael how to drive and everything. Because he is shown in the original movie.
Was
but
he
it's a
in the? Was
different
he in
actor
other
the original.
movies? Because I only remember seeing him in the
His
sixth one.
character, his
It's a
character was
different- it's
shown
a different
earlier.
actor in the original movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was a different actor in 78 film. He was the
And
one that
also-
See that's how like
drive.
rotted out my brain becomes from watching these films. Is that you just don't remember this stuff. These
Yeah.
callbacks are not necessary.
yeah.
But then
But,
also
you know,
the whole
I knew he was gonna be
drama
evil.
about- the whole drama about what they originally wanted to do with the film and the whole drama with Danielle Harris behind the scenes just ruined the movie for me. And
I
then,
read
as
an
much as I
article that
love
said that
Paul
she
Rudd,
wasn't approached by the creator, the people who were making the film, because they were hinting at that they wanted somebody 18 or older to play
well, no, they
her
just didn't
role.
want to pay her. Period. She got documentations that she could play the role. What do you call it when you emancipate? Not emancipated. What's the word?
Emancipation.
Emancipation. She got that done.
Yeah, you are
Everything
right.
went through, and then when she got it done, they were like, "Nope, we don't want you." And then they just didn't want
Yeah.
to pay her the money that she
Mhm.
was owed, basically, for the role. So they got somebody
much.
older and cheaper. And so, yeah, man, it was just a bad film all around, dude, for me. And like I said, as
Yeah.
much as I love Paul Rudd, I
Yeah.
hated him in this movie.
Michael's evil, and I
hated
get
him.
that, but not in like with incest and assaulting people like that's not what Michael was. Like that just seemed unnecessary to add in there. I get it, they were
Mhm.
doing a cult thing, and that's how things work in cults sometimes, but like it just seemed like they were trying to make him evil in any way that they could. It was so stupid. It was
Look,
The
so
only
stupid.
Yeah,
redeemable
I could agree
things
with
for me
that.
in this film. The only redeemable things for me in this film, I love the scene of little Danny and his mom in Myers' house. I love that whole sequence because it was just eerie. And then I loved when they got back to her house, and then the doctor made the reveal. Mrs. Blankenship made the reveal, and she hops out the window. I don't know why I love that sequence so much, but I love the music. I love the music.
I was like, that was
for that
highly
scene.
unnecessary to dive out of a window like that.
It was unnecessary, but
opened
it was just funny as hell.
You know?
Look, she dives out the window, and then there must be a cut scene because I didn't see the director's cut, and I will not torture myself with this seeing the director's cut. This is one of the films that this is the second time I'm watching it. I remember collecting all the DVDs to complete it when it was just DVDs out there. This was the hardest one to find for the DVDs. I watched
Yeah.
it then, and now I realize why it's been 20 years since I watched this movie. It's absolutely trash.
And I
So
love
I have it unwatchable garbage too.
I love when Michael just goes on a rampage in the hospital though at the end. Like he just goes pure ape shit. in that
Yeah.
scene, man.
Yeah, no, I enjoyed it. I just think what is it? I enjoyed it, but the whole thing of Danny not panning out to anything was really rough.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I was
Well,
like,
you know,
I
There
thought
was no
something was
point.
gonna happen. Yeah, I thought
me
something was
too.
gonna happen. I actually thought Danny was the baby at first until they were like, "Oh, this just happened last night," and I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Like the timeline's a little messed up because you think we're fast forwarding, we're not fast forwarding. But I
"Yeah,
have
Yeah.
to ask all of you this since you've all seen it. Is this really the first unofficial requel that was out there? Because we're bringing in legacy characters and then
Mm.
we're following a lot of the beats that were set up in the original film that were out there. So,
I
you know,
didn't
we
even
have
think of it. Yeah, I didn't.
No,
even
I
think
would say
Right?
I would say 4. To me personally, I would think 4 is the requel.
Yeah, I agree with Danny on that
because
one.
Well, here.
because
So,
Yeah,
you
4's
have
the
again, you
prequel.
hear
got
me out on
6
this,
is garbage.
go ahead, Div.
But no, hear me out on this. So we have like the hanging body, like we had in the original film. We have the possessed kid. We have the sheets in the yard. We have the kid dropping the pumpkin. There is so many things that are in this film that were taken from the original film and slightly modified. That it almost feels
Same
like
with
this
part
is
4
really the
though.
first.
Do you think
Same
instead
with
of it
part
being
4
a, do
though,
you think
because
instead
it's
of
like
6 being a
though.
requel, it's taking callbacks from the original one to tie it up and end it? So like instead of it being a requel, it's just its way of ending it with a bow or whatever.
I think 4
Nah, I
was
think
the
it's just
requel more so because you got the
you got
original
Jamie in the
costume.
costume. Yeah.
Yeah, you got the original costume that Michael killed everyone in. You got a bunch of callbacks, like I said, to the others as well. You know, to me, the 4 would be the true requel, hence why it
Mhm.
is like the start of the new trilogy. But it was definitely not handled well. If you want to go for like trilogy versus trilogy, this one honestly is hot garbage compared to the first trilogy, in my humble opinion.
All right.
Even with
All right.
Season with the Witch without Michael, you know.
And I'm the opposite of you. Like when Michael's going through the hospital, hulking it up and stuff like that, I thought it was horrible. I think this is the worst Michael Myers out of all of the films that are out there.
Can we
But
talk
let's go
about
ahead
how
and
like
see what we got there.
the redheaded lady is like I can't even remember their names. I don't care about these characters. She's struggling desperately to open up this locked door, and then Michael's just slowly walking over there. It's like, open the damn door. Finally opens. Oh no,
Yeah.
it's Paul Rudd was trying to open the door, and they
Yeah,
finally open the door, and
Paul
then this is Michael. Like
What
fully
pisses
extend,
me
man.
off
Just
about that?
grab them.
Yeah. What pisses me off about those scenes too is like you have Paul Rudd, he goes and gets Kara, right? And they're running through the hospital. She's not at one point saying like, "Where's my kid? We gotta find our kid." No, it's like, "Let's go and investigate." I don't care about my kid until, oh look, shit, there's my kid.
Mhm.
We gotta save him.
Oh
So,
look, they're babies.
yeah. So let's take a look. Let's look. So we got William out there saying that H6 is hot garbage. But we
Well,
got
because
Michael
of
Joy saying
Danny's.
that this is his
Oh,
favorite.
Michael Joseph. Oh, if it's his favorite, that's perfection, son. That goes up in the
Well, no,
rankings.
no. Come on. He
That's
said
his
his
favorite.
favorite. Michael
No
is
ties.
6.
There's
He
no
just-
ties there, buddy.
Yeah, he's not
He
saying
said
the
his
movie is
favorite
his favorite. He's
Michael
saying
is
the
part
Michael is his favorite.
Yeah.
Also, I'm glad that none of us
That's
even
crazy.
decide to mention the masks because, like, after the second one,
Dude,
what even? Like, there, I can't
Not
even name
only-
a.
the mask got worse progressively.
Yeah.
It
Not
was
only did
almost
the
like a
mask
rite of passage.
progressively worse, but so did the Halloween score because they modified it as they
Yeah,
went
they
along.
kept
and it
like
got
they
worse
kept
with
making it
every
Hold
more.
on. I gotta argue.
You the
that.
resurrection
I
one?
did like the score. I did like the variation of the score when Danny is
What was
running
it?
to the house and Cara sees him and Michael is walking across the street. I thought it was pretty cool. I'm not talking about the rock part. I'm talking about the more traditional score.
There
that
are
was, like,
some
close to-
scores
yeah,
that are
okay.
like that were updated
Yeah.
that were not bad, but there are some that are just absolutely
Atrocious.
abysmal.
Yeah, atrocious. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, hold up, son. Hold up. Is
All
this
right.
wait?
What
Well, version of Halloween had the very best look.
The
Oh,
first two,
definitely.
hands down.
Yeah,
Because it was
the
same
first
mask,
two,
First or second.
the first two, and then Halloween, the remake 2018 had a really great fucking mask.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I was gonna actually say like earlier. I don't think there was a single good mask until 2018 came out. I think that 1, 2, and 2018 were the good masks, and then
Yeah.
everything else just kind of sucked.
Yeah.
Really,
Rob Zombies wasn't that bad.
Yeah, I
it
like
wasn't
it.
bad, but it wasn't good.
All right,
It wasn't
Last
good.
comment before we swing to H2O. So we got 6 is a pure example of studios and suits giving the fans what they think we should get, and knows nothing.
But there's no
going
heart
on the
behind
name
it.
of the franchise and beverage. Yep.
Yep.
All right. So Danny,
So where do
you
we
have
put
to
it?
set where we're going with.
H2O.
Go ahead.
Oh, I'm glad I got
Where
this.
did we put 6?
It's filler
Danny,
Filler.
because I liked it. I was high up on the list, so it dropped down to filler.
Yep.
And 3 of us said unwatchable garbage.
Yep. All right. So H2O, you better put that on the bottom.
that's
Put him
why
on the
I
bottom.
love you.
Wow.
That's my brother
I'm
right
kidding.
there. That's my brother
I'm
right
kidding.
there. That's my
I'm
brother.
kidding. You better put that at a must watch, almost perfection, son. You better put H2O up top.
Oh, I hate
It's
you.
a must watch. H2O is a must watch, son.
I hate you now.
Listen,
Uh-huh.
the reason why, the reason why, psych, fake out. No, the reason why, honestly, I feel like with Jamie Lee back, having your final girl. This movie, even though it kind of didn't do it to perfection, hence why I have it as a must watch, it tried to tie the loose ends of the entire franchise. Like Laurie Strode dying and leaving her daughter abandoned. They used that idea of she faked her death. You know what I mean? That
But it's
now
not connected.
It doesn't
I
work
know it's
out.
not
It doesn't
I know
work
it's not connected. Hold on. I
Yep.
know it's not connected. Calm down, man. Because this is a sequel to part 2. This is a sequel to Halloween 2. You know what I mean? It's not a sequel to Halloween 4. What I'm saying is they used a lot of from the past as callbacks, which was great. Try to tie all the loose ends from the previous films. And what was cool about it is that we finally get the first time in a long time Michael feeling like Michael, appearing and disappearing. And we got some new stuff that a lot of people wouldn't agree with. I usually wouldn't agree with this, but what I thought was dope, seeing Michael fucking jump in the air and tackle somebody was incredible. Michael, for the first time, one-armed, hanging, and just slowly comes down behind him and kills
Dude,
Are
kills
you
him.
telling me that
There was
nobody
the rest
can
of his
see
body.
that? See
There
a
was the rest of his
6-foot
body.
behemoth
He was like,
in
he,
a bright white
slowly,
Michael Myers.
incredible,
He's wearing a
incredible.
Shatner mask. You're telling me you're not gonna see that? This
And then-
lurking is like, I'm just
and then-
sitting here.
and-
no one will see
and
me.
then on top of that, I think they did LL dirty. They should have left him dead. That was really cool when they shot him, and I was like, "Damn it, dude!" But then he was alive. I was like, that's bullshit." But no, man, it's the first time that Michael was Michael. It was the first time that we saw Laurie. First time before the remake that she was really traumatized by all of this. Basically, you know, all her medicine in the medicine cabinet, her drinking her life away, her smothering her son to the point he's like, "F you, mom," right? And then seeing Michael smart again, seeing Michael just creeping. He's in the car, he's driving again, he's doing all this stuff that's very, very reminiscent of the first 2 movies, right? But then not only that, some of these scenes in this movie was used in the remakes, by the way. Like when he goes to the bathroom with the little girl and the mom, seeing them through the little
I noticed that. I
through the
noticed that.
peephole. And again, he didn't kill them because in the original Halloween 1, he didn't have to kill everybody. He was just looking to make sure that he was going to get the getaway car. And when he saw the person, that's all he wanted. He was like, "I'm out." And then again, tying it to Halloween 2, which again, personally, I don't like that much, but to tie it in that, he's going after his sister again, and he's just a smart dude, man. He's really a smart dude getting this done. Like I said, it was a lot of feels for it. Like, are there some gripes? Absolutely. But it was the feel of coming back to the original feeling. That's why for me, it's definitely a must watch. Is it perfection? No, but it's definitely a must watch for me.
All right. We got some controversial comments that are going to be popping up, and we'll get to shortly. Marcus, go ahead.
I wouldn't say this is unwatchable garbage, but I definitely say it's a filler for me. I was not a fan of it, even when I saw it back in 1998 at the theater. It was just so much wrong with the film all around, but then knowing all the stuff that took place behind the scenes that made it what it was, that ruined for. And it's hard for me now being in the industry to like separate watching a film as a fan as opposed to watching it through like a filmmaker's lens. So knowing all the behind the scenes drama too just kind of skewed my view of the film. You know, being that John Carpenter originally was supposed to direct, but they didn't want to pay him the money. Jamie Lee Curtis really didn't want to do the movie at first without John Carpenter, but she was obligated because of contract.
Yeah,
I would have loved John Carpenter coming back.
I did it for a
loved him coming back.
Yeah,
It probably would have been better.
And then
It would have been better.
and then also, what else they said? Yeah, it was just a whole bunch of drama behind the scenes with it, man. And then the issues with the mask, the different mask, the freaking CGI mask, bro. That was just the most abysmal thing.
Yeah, that was rough. That one was rough. I'll give you that.
But then there was no likable characters.
They were testing it out.
Yeah, there was no likable characters outside of Laurie and LL, really, because I didn't care for anybody else in the movie. You know, so.
I like that her son was a rebellious teenager because we were all that dude, man. We were all that guy that like we wanted to do what we wanted to do.
I wouldn't even consider him rebellious. He was just being smothered by a mom who was going through some shit that she couldn't heal. I wouldn't consider him rebellious. I would just consider him. I would consider him overwhelmed with his home life because of what his
Oh,
mom
yeah.
was going through, and it overwhelmed him. So I wouldn't really consider him rebellious.
I
Yeah,
mean,
sure,
he did
was,
what
like,
he wanted to
drinking
do,
whatever,
period.
but-
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he just wanted to do
What's
what
up?
he wanted to do, period. You know what I mean? No, despite what she was gonna say. You know what I mean? So that's kind of like rebelling. But dude, I just again some of the kills in there and also some of the brutalness that we saw. The elevator shaft dropping on that chick's leg. At first, I was like, "Oh no, she has no leg." But then when she pulled it out and it was mangled, I was like, "That's probably worse." Right? Like, I'm like, "Oh my god!" Like, yo, I was again. For me, like I said, it's just it was just a good nostalgic feel for like 1 and 2. That's why it has a must watch. When again 4, 5, and 6 didn't have that, man.
Now I will say the
All
one
right.
thing that I love the most about the film was thinking that this was going to be it and her decapitating Michael. I thought that was brilliant.
Loved it.
Yeah.
That was the highlight of the movie for me. Was that? But that was about it for me.
Yep.
All right. So me, I'm going down another level here too to acceptable time wasters. So that's where
Okay,
we're
that's
averaged
fair.
at right now.
Yeah, that's right.
And,
Put it.
and the reason why I say that one, so Danny, I was with you. Like him coming down from the rafters was so
Yeah, that was
freaking
cool.
amazing when I was
was cool.
younger. But now, if I think about it logical, where the hell is the rest of his body? Was there a secret door above him that he was climbing
Hell
out of?
yeah.
Is he Spider-Man? Was his
He's the
feet
shape.
attached or something?
He's just
No.
he's
He's the shape. He
planking, but he's
was the
holding
rafter.
himself with one arm. So he's got knife in
He
one hand,
was
and he's just
the
holding
rafter.
himself upwards.
But think about it, bro. If you're running around in this big giant hallway and there's a big fucking tall roof, you're not looking up for the bitch. You're looking straight, like where'd he go? And then you notice the window's open, and then you're like, oh shoot.
She wasn't running, and if we're
He
playing off
run
the
into-
entire
he run into
movie,
him.
in the entire movie, Lori is paranoid, always looking over her shoulder. You telling me that she's not gonna be like,
Yeah.
No, it's
You're
because
not gonna
remember
see a
the
giant mass.
window. No, the Nash. He wasn't that big. This is not Rob Zombie's
Come
Halloween,
on.
dog.
He's
Yeah, he's not Rob
laying
Zombie's.
feet.
He ain't laying flat against the ceiling. There's no
Dude,
way.
he wasn't even
He's not
6
flat
foot. Like
Stanley.
me,
He's not flat
like me.
Stanley.
No, like me and Marky said, he wasn't even 6 foot in this film. In any of the films until Rob Zombie. No, bro. He was what, 5'9"? 5'9", 5'10"?
Yeah.
No, Chris Duran is 6 feet in this one.
No, that the actor is, but originally Michael Myers is not that tall.
Yeah, Michael. Yeah,
Okay,
Michael.
but
That's what I'm saying.
But the actor would be 6 foot in this movie, so it.
Dude,
Michael
again,
Myers
if
in
you
this
saw
movie
a
is 6
giant
feet.
ass window, listen, if you saw a giant ass window that was open and the curtains blowing, you're like, okay, and then you see a door here, you're like, okay, either this bitch went out the window or he's at the door. You're not gonna go, let me look up. There you are.
I'm gonna check all of my surroundings, or just get the fuck out of there.
You know what?
Well,
You know what? I'm
look,
buying
But also,
Michael Myers mask. No.
What is she? What is he holding himself up with too? Because are these wood beams? So like, wouldn't there just be a succession of wood
pipes.
No, they were
beams?
pipes.
You saw it. It was metal pipes, dude.
pipes in the
So
hallway.
what
But look-
metal pipe is holding him up? What is supporting the weight?
A thick. Listen, have you not? I guess you have it, man. In school, I used to go to school in an old raggedy school, and you could hang on those pipes, bro. Like it would support anybody.
Yeah, you
This
could.
was a private school, man.
We're talking
It was
about
a gated
still
school.
growing children to a
steel
full-grown
pipes.
murder
Dude,
man.
in
Like,
Can I say-
tornado warnings, bro. They tell you to hold on to the pipes. Come on, dog. Are you kidding me?
Can I say one thing? The biggest crime with this film, as much as I love Marco Beltrami as a composer, because you know he did Scream and countless other films and stuff, because they brought him in late because they fired the original composer. Having the Scream score in a Halloween movie was just like, like come on, man.
see, the thing is that there's so many unredeeming qualities about this movie that the score is not even a
man.
thought in my brain.
Yeah,
Like this
dude.
movie is not like
Like,
Laurie Strode bringing back Jamie Lee
One
Curtis
second,
was
one
the
second,
crutch to
one
a bad
second.
movie.
Yeah, 1 second though, before I pass it over to you, like they say this movie is not connected, but yet in the opening scenes they reveal that Laurie Strode died in a car accident. Oh my
Yep.
God, that happened in part 4. So what is it connected or not connected? They don't even
not.
know. They don't even
It's
know.
not.
No,
Yeah.
go ahead.
She's got amnesia. That's what it is. She's got amnesia. Forgot that she had Jamie.
Yeah, it was the car accident that knocked
You're
her amnesia up.
All right, so no,
So
where you
we
got
got
this
it.
before you ran up?
He put it. He said time waster as well with you, Dave.
Yeah,
All right.
like it's not like it's a bad movie. It is a bad movie, but there are so many worse movies in this franchise. And
Mhm.
this one, they get bringing back Jamie Lee Curtis as Laurie Strode. Well, I will say that watching her throughout this franchise, and I'm probably going to bring it up, is I don't really like Laurie Strode that much. It
No.
was nice seeing her back in the film.
Yeah. Now, if I would have let what happened behind the scenes sway me on this film, it would go into the trash because
Mhm.
Jamie Lee Curtis came back on the condition that when she come back, she be the person to end Michael Myers for good.
Yep.
Thus explaining the new trilogy.
The
So let's-
retcon in Resurrection is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. So, like,
By the way, in Resurrection, I'm glad you mentioned that, Noah. In Resurrection, you ready for this? They always, and this is why Marcus and Dave, I understand where you're coming from. They always originally had that intention that he was not going to die, and that's why Resurrection became a thing.
Yep.
All right, so let's take a look at our comments before we switch over. So we got William, let's fucking go. My favorite Halloween movie, H2.
Boom. There you go.
We got Curtis. H2O came out after Scream. I felt it had a great pace. You in,
You're in, you're out. Yep.
you're out. The effects are on Lori and now affecting her son. Plus, only movie with 4 different masks, and we're all bad.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the masks were terrible.
a lot
But you
a lot of Scream influence there.
Thank you, boys.
Yeah, Michael Joe, they brought back the garbage character of Louis. I'm right there with you.
This is
Thing is,
why
like,
I said it.
so now characters
It
keep
needed
this
to get
franchise
out
alive.
of it needs to get out of Haydensfield, dude. We talked about this with Scream. We talked about this with Friday the 13th. We talked this about a lot of things. The only thing the only grace I give Jason is the fact that the whole witchcraft thing had his soul in Crystal Lake. And then for Freddy versus Jason, remember Freddy went in his head that his mom told him to finally leave Crystal Lake. But the whole time when his mom did the witchcraft and stuff, his soul is stuck in Crystal Lake. That's the only one that I'll give, grace to. Other than that, though, we need to move away. We definitely need to move away from just being in one pivotal place at all times.
Yep.
We just got to.
All right. Now, before we move on to Resurrection, so we have a live tier maker going on. So if you're
Let's see what's that, boys.
No, we're not going to check it just yet. We're not going to check it just yet. But I want anybody that's watching right now, if they want to contribute, there's a link in Danny and our channel. So go take a look at the description and comments. Go to the link and add your own tier ranking in there, and we'll take a look at that at the end. But now it's time to move on to Resurrection. And Marcus,
y'all gonna hate
where
me.
are you going to
Y'all
start us
gonna hate
off
me
with?
on this one.
Oh
Y'all
my
gonna
God,
hate me on
Marcus!
this
Marcus,
Oh my
don't do
God.
it!
But
Don't do it! Don't do it!
So I actually ranked Resurrection higher than H2O, so I put it as an acceptable time waster.
Oh my God!
Oh,
Because, dude, it's so bad that it's good to me. So I just found it. No, the reason why I say it's an acceptable time waster is because I like the idea of trying to bring in the new technology and streaming on the internet. I thought that was like pretty cool.
all right.
And some previous films tried that before but failed at it. So I kind of like the concept of it. I felt the overall execution of the film was piss poor. The acting wasn't the best. But I like the idea of what they were trying to do with it.
All right.
I wasn't a fan of Busta Rhymes pulling a roundhouse on Michael, but I love the idea of Busta talking shit to Michael when
Son of a bitch.
they were both wearing a costume, man. I just had a ball with that scene, man. I was cracking up in that scene, dude. He told the man to skedaddle, bro.
Bro, my blood pressure is through the roof right now, Marcus.
And
all right, Dan, we'll go right with you, Danny. We'll go with you next.
Cool kills. It was some cool kills in the movie too.
Yeah, that really saves it.
You better put listen, Dave. You better put Resurrection below hot garbage. Okay, you need another tier. You need another tier for like abominations, dude. This honestly, listen, I'm gonna tell you right now.
It's a 6.
Listen, this movie is the only Halloween movie. Halfway through it, I was like, I'm done. Fuck this movie. It's the only movie that I was like, I do not want to watch this garbage. And the only reason why they did the technology thing, Marcus, by the way, is because of the success of the Blair Witch Project. They wanted a Michael Myers Blair Witch Project, bro.
So many people reaping the benefits off of that movie and fucking over the people that created it. Don't you just
That's what I'm
love
saying,
that
bro.
so much?
The only
And
one
that
that
movie-
did justice was Paranormal Activity. The first one. That's the only one that gives you kind of Blair Witch vibes.
Yeah.
Other than that, bro, come on. A Michael Myers Blair Witch. You know what? Shut your mouth and know your role, jabroni. This is not.
Are you talking about a found footage Halloween film with Michael Myers?
No.
Is that what you're saying?
No, this is supposed to be literally. This is why they had the perspective of
the cameras.
This is why the perspective of the cameras. It was supposed to be a Blair Witch Halloween movie. Terrible. And listen, you know what this movie reminded me of? You remember when like VH1 and MTV? Yeah. Besides that, you know how VH1 and MTV tried to create movies and they were all fucking terrible. This was a VH1 MTV Halloween movie. This was, my God. I couldn't, bro. And they had all these celebrities from previous shows like Dawson's Creek. You had the kid from what is that? That he was the pitcher. He was the pitcher.
Oh,
the kid from
the dude from American Pie.
The dude from American Pie. I forgot. He's known for the pitching movie, right? Dude, you had. Yep, and then Tyra Banks and all these other you had all these celebrities for what, dude? The dialogue again. An indie filmmaker would have made this movie so much better than what happened.
Yep.
This is
like I said,
dude,
it's so bad that it was good to me, man.
Don't Sharknado me right now, Marcus. Marcus, you do not Sharknado me right now, okay?
Should that be a franchise that we rank Sharknado?
Listen, if we rank Sharknado, Halloween Resurrection is going with it, okay? Is that bad?
Yeah, I have this at I got this at unwatchable garbage too, because like we're repeating the scene with the rafters. We got Tyra Banks and Busta Rhymes in this because the early 2000s and late 90s we had to get all the CW stars and people in movies because we thought that was the hip thing to do. But oh man, this movie like you were saying, Danny, like I'm getting into this movie here, and now it's starting to hurt while watching this movie because the dialogue is pretty damn bad.
So fucking bad.
The kills, oh my god!
It's a dagger to your intellect. It's just I'm dumber now
from
watching it.
No, dude. As soon as I saw, I'm
choking on my own spit.
As soon as I saw the first kill. As soon as I saw the first kill in the house, I was done, dude. Dude, you got the kid from the Luck of the Irish Disney movie in this dumb shit, bro. What are we doing?
They're going to investigate the kill. They're going to investigate the kill. They're looking around. They walk past where the body would be, and then all of a sudden they step it back and they trip over the body. How did you walk over the body? Was the body just there after you found it? Oh my god.
Dave, how about this? How about, we're in a serial killer's house and they say it's haunted. One of the cameras go out. I'll be fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
What? Dude, in the Blair Witch, when their camera fell and all that stuff. This is where
stereotypes in movies started happening.
Dude, it was just it was like Dave was saying in the early 2000s when you had everyone trying to be a movie maker. You had VH1, BET, MTV. You had freaking everyone just going ahead and trying to make these films with these singers and these rappers and stuff. And Disney stars, basura, even worse than that.
Can we say how many times the Myers house changed up to this point too?
Oh my god! Yeah, everybody.
Dave, your screen is green. No. Why is your screen green?
I don't know why my screen.
Oh yeah, you are green.
You're green.
Let me see here. I had.
Did your camera cut out? Your camera.
Hey, I was talking all that smack about a camera cutting out, and Dave's camera cut out.
All right. Well, can you still see that I'm sharing my screen?
Yeah, you can see
we can see your screen.
Yeah.
All right. I'll be green for a little bit, but no, where you got this one ranked?
I would also put it in unwatchable garbage.
Thank you. All three. Unwatchable garbage.
Honestly, other than the fact that the movie is just shit. It is just shit. It really is. But now, so we have this movie opening up with Lori dying, right? And
Thank
we're
you. I
so
forgot about
reason
that.
why she did the movie.
Oh, I
That's
forgot
the
about
reason
that.
And
why
we're
she did it.
so, and like I said, I'm not a fan of Laurie Strode, but we're so adamant that in every single movie leading up to this, there had to be a legacy character from the first movie. You kill her off in the beginning, and then you do such an injustice to have some random motherfucker kill Michael Myers, and then that's the final movie in like this original franchise, if you will. And it's just such a spit in the face to Dr. Loomis, to Jamie, to Laurie. Like, what the fuck is that?
That's
Like
the only
any
reason
one of
why
those
she did
characters.
the movie, though.
But
She's
honestly,
the one that requested to be killed, though.
It's
Yeah.
just so stupid and late. Like, it's so stupid.
yeah, and she's faking the whole time that she's there, and then it's like, oh,
Yeah,
okay,
like,
but
what
what
the
about
fuck
your
is
son?
that?
I think you wanted to protect your son, but now you're gonna
She's
go
got a
hide?
Raggedy Andoff
Oh,
filled
my
with
God.
pills. Everyone's
Absolutely.
Never mind. Never. Jesus.
All right, let's go ahead and let's pop in some comments here. So we got Devontae saying Busta Rhymes is the biggest mistake this movie could have done, and the nitwits at
Being-
Dimension and
The movie being made.
and Trankus thought it was good to give him more screen time when they did reshoots. Oh heck no! Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, he didn't need that much screen time, but I thought his character was okay.
CG
Fine.
saying Resurrection Busta Rhymes a must win. Let's see.
Thank
Let's
you,
see what
CG.
else we got out there. We got Devontae also saying the camera concept was amazing. There's nothing to hate on with that. You people are despicable. Thank you.
See, Devontae is with me. I'm with
Listen,
you, Devontae. I love the whole camera.
It's a great concept, but it's like on
It
paper
just
it was
was
a great
executed
concept, and
poorly.
we've seen it played out great. But in this movie, it sucked. So we're not hating on the concept, especially not for that time period. Like, work with what you got. But it was bad. Like, they didn't try. Especially when you're seeing that the Blair Witch Project, if it's going so like if they're taking from the Blair Witch Project, that's an independent film, and that movie was amazing. Why is it that a movie that has a production company behind it and all these big names endorsing it and working in the film can't bring that same skill to like they
I
did?
don't know.
So it's not the idea itself, it's just what Resurrection showed it to be in comparison to what it was ripping off, you could say.
So that's 3 for unwatchable garbage. So that should be unwatchable garbage, right? The majority rules. You said majority rules.
All right, we drop it down to
No. Because I break it just like we did for the other ones.
Yeah,
Where did you break it? How high did you have it again?
Not a
I had it at acceptable time watcher.
Oh yeah, so it does fill out. All right, you're right. Dave, you're still green. What is going on? You got Michael Myers behind you, dog.
Hold on. Let me see. Let me stop my camera and mic and see if I can get this fixed. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are featuring technical difficulties. Please keep all arms and legs in the ride at all times. Oh, Marcus, I can't believe it. I can't believe you said it was high up on that list, boy. And Devontae, you too, boy. What is this, man?
Oh, wait till we get to 2007. Y'all gonna really hate me.
Oh, bro. Oh, you're talking about Rob Zombie?
Mm-hmm.
Bro, I know you, especially that you have it. Dude, you have it behind you. I'm not even gonna guess, dog. This bitch is gonna have it. This bitch is gonna have it in perfection. I know he is. I know he is. Yo, get the hell out of here, Marcus. Oh my god.
I think it's crazy that we're going throughout the Halloween franchise, and we went throughout the Alien franchise, and we already had something in unwatchable garbage. Like, granted, there's less movies, but we already had something in unwatchable garbage at this point in time.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many terrible movies in this franchise.
Yeah.
So many terrible ones, and it's just empty. It's unfazed by any of the Halloween movies.
Dude, if I was to share mine.
Well, you know, I put 6 at unwatchable, but I got beat out. So
I also put it at
already.
unwatchable.
So
it's
I'm
the
back.
worst one in the series.
Yeah.
I'm fixed. I'm back, and that brings us to the Halloween Rob Zombie movies.
Can I kick that one off?
No.
Yeah, go ahead. You go ahead, Marcus. Kick it off.
No.
Yeah, Danny gonna hate me on
Marcus?
this one, so he about to go here. So I got 2007 as a must watch for me. I know a lot of people hate the whole
high and bold assumption.
I know a lot of people hate the whole Michael having a backstory thing, but I mean,
I
to
don't mind
bring
that actually.
realism to it, Dag did a phenomenal job as young Michael. I thought it
Mhm.
was kind of brilliant that we saw his journey, his descent into what he ended up becoming, and then also
Mhm.
if people were, I won't say fortunate enough because it did get leaked, but if anybody saw the work print that was released in March that year, I think, before the movie released in August, there was a scene where Michael and Loomis are in the garden, and Michael keeps telling Loomis, "Hey, I need to get out of here. I need to get out of here. I need to get out of here." And Loomis is like, "No,
Mhm.
you're not. That's not going to happen." They kind of gave an Easter egg from the novelization of the 1978 film as to why Michael actually chose not to speak anymore. He made the conscious decision himself
Mhm.
not to talk anymore. And so they did that in a work print where Michael says, "I have nothing else left to say." And then that scene, Danny Trejo telling him like, "Hey, you need to learn how to live inside your head because there you're unstoppable." I kind of like that,
Yep.
and that's what Michael ended up doing as he became an adult. I would say, even though Malcolm McDowell is one of my all-time favorite actors, I wasn't the biggest fan of him as Loomis. I thought he was okay maybe for the first half, and then after that it just kind of got silly. But I enjoyed Scout as Lori. I thought she was a more convincing Lori to me. And I love Tyler Mane as Michael, man. I enjoyed him as Michael, even though he's a
Yep.
behemoth.
Oh, he's
I still
massive.
enjoyed his. Yeah, I enjoyed his performance as Michael personally, with just his little ticks and
All right.
everything, his eyes. Yeah, so that's my 2 cents.
So I gotta back you on this one, Marcus. I like this one too. It's definitely a must watch. It's almost borderline perfection because the whole beginning
Really?
of the movie and getting the backstory of Michael Myers as a kid and seeing how he grew up, now it makes sense. Like where Marcus said before, like one of his complaints with the 78 Halloween is the parents just looking there dumbfounded. It's like, Michael? And then we get the wide shot that just pans out. Here we get the backstory of everything, which is really nice. We get to see that little Michael is a little psychopath. But even the cinematography in this movie is
Hmm.
so well done. Like after
Hmm.
the house, after the bodies are discovered, we switch to black and white, and we're seeing the tragedy through black and white. And then everything freezes, and we get a slow scroll up into young Michael Myers, and he just turns his head and looks at the camera, and it's haunting. It's
Yeah,
haunting compared to all
because
the
that's
other
where you see the
films.
blackest eyes right there.
Exactly, exactly. Now we get to see the blackest eyes because we see the origin of it. But not only that, while this Laurie Strode is not one of she's okay. The next film kind of ruins it for me. But
Yeah.
when she's trying to escape at the end, this is why everybody says, "Oh, Laurie Strode's a great final girl." No, she isn't.
Nope.
Jamie Lee Curtis is not a good Laurie Strode final girl. This Laurie Strode is a good final girl because she does everything in her power to escape that is realistic. She's clawing at walls. She's kicking floorboards up. She's
Stabs
doing
you in the shoulder.
everything to escape. Exactly. And then at the end, when she's had enough and you see all the trauma hitting her at the end, she takes a gun and shoots him right in the face.
Hmm.
So I don't want to hear it. Like people are like, "Oh, it's not my Michael Myers." No, this is actually a little bit better than the '78 film, and I hate to say that. Noah, go ahead and take it over. Where you got it?
Do it
Well,
justice, Noah.
first off, you can't say it's better than. You can't say it's better than the 78 film when you put 78 film at perfection and this one you didn't put at perfection.
Thank you, sir.
I think you guys are ranking this a little high. I think that you're ranking it. The backstory, while I don't mind the backstory, and we are going based off the theatrical version, so it is a shorter version of his backstory. I do like that we see, even though he is like coming from a more realistic household, as to why if Lori is his sister, which they mentioned in the first one as being his sister in this one, it makes more sense that she was put up for adoption, and he is still sadistic, even though he's being because he's gutting animals and he's just being a very sadistic child. I wouldn't say as much of the background is needed. Michael Myers, it also eats up a lot of Michael Myers as Michael Myers on his spree. I think that eats up a lot of screen time. So it's not something I'm hugely in love with. There could have been, and also you guys are loving this Laurie Strode. I don't like Laurie Strode. I don't like this one even more. Hate this Laurie Strode. Sure, she did the right things. Sure, I guess that's fine. She was so fucking annoying throughout the entire movie. Just so goddamn annoying. Like the other Laurie, like acted more responsible, which is and more mature, more responsible, more intelligent. That's kind of what I liked about Laurie is that she was this intelligent, mature, responsible person. This Laurie was so stupid, just so annoying. I preferred Annie, so I'm glad that Annie I don't know if they
That's
confirmed it in the
Danielle
first one.
Harris.
Yeah, well, I prefer her anyways as an actress, but I'm glad that they let her character live. I preferred her character in this movie to Laurie, and just oh my god, the screaming! Shut the fuck up!
No, I disagree with you there. Annie screaming after she's attacked is scary.
No, not
It's
Annie.
frightening, and it's
Laurie.
realistic.
Laurie's screaming.
Compared to Jamie Lee Curtis's screaming, that was horrible.
That's annoying too.
Get
But
out of here.
dude, I had to lower the volume on my TV because of how fucking loud she was. It's awful. And also, how are you defending yourself against something the size of Tyler Maine's Michael Myers? Too fucking big.
Well, remember, he
It's
wasn't
great.
trying to
That's
kill her. He was
That's a
trying to
Jason
reunite
Voorhees
with
thing.
her.
That's a Jason
Yeah,
Voorhees
he
thing.
wasn't trying to kill her.
He wasn't
Yep.
trying to kill her.
But
wasn't
but like
going after
other
her.
people that were trying to defend themselves against her.
He's
He's too big.
Rank
That's
it.
for Jason Voorhees.
Look,
Michael Myers is
I don't
not
wanna
that
hear-
big.
Rank
I don't
it.
wanna
Noah. Tell him where it's at. Tell him where it's at, Noah. Rank it.
I don't want to hear anybody talk about how he's trying she's trying to defend himself. You seen the end of H2O? The guy was shot with almost machine guns and shit, and he still lived. Go ahead, Noah. Rank it. Where are you putting it?
Rank it, Noah.
Oh my god. Also, I don't like H2O, so it doesn't matter. And if you're talking about 5, didn't really like that one that much either. But if I'm putting this anywhere, at most, it's an acceptable time waster. At most, it's an acceptable time waster. And I'll be generous because, whew. But yeah, this is not a good film. It's watching it the first time. So this is the second time watching. Watching it the first time, I really liked it. But I'm noticing now that I don't really like Rob Zombie's directorial style. I think it was just unnecessary. Like most of this film was unnecessary. So acceptable time waster because there are much worse films that we have talked about and are going to talk about. So this one, yeah, like it's just an acceptable time waster.
Now, I will
All right,
say
Danny.
I like the escape
Let's go.
of Michael in the theatrical version over Rob Zombie's director's cut because he.
I don't like the director's cut at all.
Yeah, he plows. Well, I like the director's cut as a whole of the movie. I just didn't like the escape. But yeah, that's it.
All right, Danny. Go ahead.
Just bring it. Listen, do you smell what I'm cooking? You better put that bitch in the trash, son. You better put that in the trash. Oh my god.
It's burned. It burned.
Dude, oh my god, that is absolutely in the trash. Let me tell you something. I don't like Rob Zombie movies because Rob Zombie creates the same movies over and over again with I know it's supposed to be in the same timeline with what is it? House of a Thousand Corpses and the other one, what is it called? The Devil's What? Rejects, right? Yeah. Dude, it's the same thing, dude. This was a same House of a Thousand Corpses style in Halloween. It was trash, bro. We don't need a backstory of Michael Myers. What's disturbing about Michael Myers as the shape is this. You're in middle class with a great family, with everything that nothing happens in Haddonfield, with a reputable family, and all of a sudden Michael kills somebody. And then you don't know why. Same thing. He gets out of the loony bin and starts killing again. You don't know why. And again, is this the same person? We don't know. We don't know. We're just going off of Loomis's word, right? Oh, this is the same. We don't know. The whole thing is this whole thing was a Rob Zombie disturbing film from the beginning. Had an effed up stepdad, had a freaking stripper mom. His sister was a reject. It's just like, dude, I get that it's normal to have these traumatizations, but guess what? There's also in records in the medical field of it coming out of nowhere. And that's even scarier. That's even scarier that it comes out of nowhere. And so for the fact,
that's actually something I wanted to play into your point. I thought that just the suddens, like, oh, he's in a really nice household with this rich family and they're really well off and whatnot, and then he just snaps and murders his sister. Like, it's just it strikes more of a shock value than the brutalization of what he did to those people, because it's just Rob Zombie like cheaping out, going for gore and making you shocked by the brutality of it, other than what is actually shocking storytelling of like, oh, this is like just a normal kid in a very nice household, and then all of a sudden he just snaps. So yes, I 100% agree with that. I think that was super fucking lazy and just Rob Zombie's way of being a very brutal storyteller. That's just because that's just what he does, and
he's not
lazy.
a storyteller, bro. He's not a storyteller.
Dude, I agree with that. I can agree with that. I can agree with
Killers
that.
out there in real life are playing with kittens and stuff, man. You get
some of them do. Some of them do. Look at Ted Bundy. Ted Bundy was very charismatic. Very, very charismatic and wooed women like crazy. And he murdered all of them. And you would never guess that Ted Bundy was one.
But it was brutal.
Dude, he slipped up and that's how he got caught. He slipped up and that's how what I'm saying is
Ted Bundy so shocking is what Danny is saying. Is that he was so
charismatic.
Macho, bravado, charismatic, a super
suave
friendly
dude.
guy.
Yeah.
And then you actually find out that he's this brutal
mass
murderer / serial assaulter. And that's the most shocking part, is that you don't expect it. You could never expect that by just looking at him and who he is in these clips. And
absolutely.
I giving sympathy to Michael Myers is what makes Michael Myers less of the boogeyman.
He was just a mass murderer.
We're gonna go that far. Like,
dude, he was not. No, but he was not the shape though. He was not the shape in this. He wasn't the boogeyman.
He wasn't.
No, he wasn't. He was just he was just a serial killer, which was stupid. And then on top of that, like I said, Rob Zombie creates the same fucking movies over and over again. None of his storytelling is different. None of his storytelling is different. Watch all his movies. I guarantee you, go back and watch all his movies, and you're going to be like, oh, shoot, it's the same formula over and over again. Was it shot nice? I'll give you that, Dave. I'll give you that. That cinematography-wise, cool. That was fine. But it's the same thing. And then Laurie, definitely unlikable. Definitely not a good actress, in my opinion. All of it was just absolutely trash.
I hate it.
And then, to have him that big, don't get me wrong, having an individual that big, that's terrifying in itself.
Yeah.
But then, to Noah's point, though, how do you defend against that? There's no fucking way. Bro, this dude will backhand you, and you're fucking dying, man. If you look, I was at the Philly. Listen, I was at the Phillies arena, the 76ers arena, bro, and their doors are all the way up to the roof, and you're like, yo, dude could palm your entire face if they wanted to. It's also insane.
Can we talk about when Laurie is holding the gun up to Michael right before he charges her? First off, fire the fucking gun, you idiot. And second off, he spears her through a window on the second floor, and she makes it out better than he does.
Yep.
What are we doing? What are we talking?
She didn't kill him.
Danny, thank you very much for opening my eyes. Can you drop my opinion, my ranking down one more step? It's just a bad movie. It's not garbage. It's not garbage, but it's filler. Like, it's so bad.
So that's one more down, baby.
Film.
Listen.
Oh my god.
All I'm saying is this, especially she didn't kill him. She didn't kill him.
Hold on.
He hits the gun, and that's what sets it off, and that's why he gets shot in the face.
Actually, technically, Danny, she did kill him, but because Harvey Weinstein and wanted Michael back, just like the whole thing with Carpenter in Part 2 in '81.
Yeah.
Rob Zombie actually did kill Michael off in that one. Yeah, it was
and that's why Rob Zombie made the second one intentionally shit.
It should have been one and done, because
I will three movies.
I will tell you this. Halloween 2007 gave us one, even though he was only in a movie for one scene. Halloween 2007 gave us one of the best characters in all of the franchise.
Michael Jones.
Joe Grizzly.
Michael Joe, I'm with you.
Joker.
I'm with you, Michael Joe. Michael Joe, I'm with you. This movie should not exist. That entire Rob Zombie franchise shouldn't exist. Thank you.
Oh my god.
Thank you, CG. Thank you, my brother. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh boy, look at this.
I
Look.
think we hold.
Alright, so we
I
got
think
double
we hold
knees,
his
welcome
films
double
on a
knees.
pedestal because it started
Thanks,
gore
double
horror
knees.
in its new steamroll that it's in right now.
Yep. Yeah, so we got double knees saying, while I prefer that Michael doesn't have a backstory, I didn't mind the Rob Zombie remake too much.
Yeah, that's a valid opinion.
I prefer Michael and CG. Thank you, brother. Double knees. That's a good take, but
Yeah, you got your
thank you, sir.
All right, and double
Alright.
knees is sticking with surprisingly decent. All right, so that brings us to Halloween 2,
2009.
and I'll kick this one off. No, I kicked this one off. Marcus, you picked up the last one, so. Oh my god, this was the last film that I watched in this entire run of franchises, and it is unwatchable.
Yes.
Really, this is not the second time I watched. This is the third time I watched it because I watched it with Noah once before to introduce it to him, and my god, the following of the White Horse, Laurie. This is where the Laurie Strode in this film really just starts to annoy me. Like, I hate her character in this film a lot.
Oh, starts to.
And no, she didn't bother me in the last one. She did not bother me in the last film. But this one here, it's like, oh my god, and then we have Loomis, who's just like over the top an asshole in this film.
They ruined him.
Yeah,
he annoys me. Like Laurie, there's a scene in this movie that really bugs me. Laurie's going for therapy, and she's telling about her nightmares and all this other stuff. And the shrink is like, "Oh, we're coming up on the 1 year anniversary," and Laurie's like, "Well, he's dead. I don't have to worry about it." And the shrink's like, "But they never found his body." Bitch, you're the fucking shrink. Why are you saying this to your patient? Well, he's not dead.
Sure?
You're
Are you
supposed
sure
to be
he's
helping
dead?
her. You're supposed to be helping her.
For real.
Oh my god.
So
Then there was
the directors. I'm going to chime in. Sorry, Dave. Just a little bit. In the director's cut, there's a lot of differences, and I'll chime in on those after. But just for that scene for the therapist, so in the director's cut, she's actually more of an asshole to everyone, and she actually is the asshole to the therapist, and was just like, "Yo, just give me my pills. I just want my pills." Kind of like a junkie, dude. Is insane.
Yeah, she was very unlikable.
And then honestly, it's like, at the end of the film, her descent into madness. Like, she's like, all right, let's party. I'm freaking out again. I started fast forwarding at the end of this one. I couldn't take it no more.
I'll explain it to it like Danny at the end. There's some stuff behind the scenes.
All right, no, go ahead.
Well on the screen, but yeah.
All right, no, where you got this one at?
Okay, so let me preface this by saying that the movie is shit. Like, it's a terrible movie. Knowing behind the scenes that it was intentionally made this way, it's not swaying my decision, but I put it in acceptable time waster, and here's why. Here's why I'm putting it above there. Right? So when
Hold up, son. No. Hold up, son.
1 second. One second.
No, I'm not giving you one. Hold on. You just said that number 1 was unwatchable garbage like I did. And you said you
Halloween wanted to watch garbage. I put it in filler.
No, because you said, okay, listen. You said it was
bad. Had it at acceptable time waster and then dropped it to filler.
But you like this one better than the first one?
Just give me 1 second. The movie is worse. The movie is worse than the first one. However, what is something that is always fun to do with friends, right? You all pick a bunch of horror movies. Sometimes you pick some good ones, and sometimes you pick some intentionally shit ones. And this one is a really great movie to pick as an intentionally shit horror movie to watch with friends, just to make up fun of it. Because tell me right now how much fucking fun it would be to watch this movie and just shit on it with everyone you're sitting with. It's like, this movie is garbage. I actually thought that the horse was a unicorn, but like, it's just, there is no need for this movie to exist in any capacity, and that's what makes it so great. It's like with Marcus talking about Alien vs Predator Requiem. He loved how bad it was. This movie is so fucking stupid that it makes it kind of funny. It's like the Velocipaster. Have you ever watched the Velocipaster? I recommend
Oh my
watching that.
god, yeah,
Ah.
yeah.
Boy.
Let's not talk
All right,
about that,
so
but yeah, I'm with you, nephew.
from where Danny's perspective and reaction is, I think I know where he's going. He's going right for perfection.
We're also talking about this film was intentionally
You're
made to be
damn
shit.
right.
Halloween was supposed to be good. Rob Zombie's 2007 film was supposed to be good. This one was not. So going based off of that premise, like, kind of makes it even funnier.
All right, Danny, where you got this at?
You said it, dog. Put it in perfection. No, I'm kidding. you better put it. It's opposite day. You better put it all the way. You better put it all the way in unwatchable garbage as well. Jesus. Oh my God, bro. Listen, you know me, Dave, and I like creating suspense movies that make people think. But when you have the audience that has no idea what's going on and they have to do hours of research like a Latino woman wondering if you're cheating on her is out of control, bro. Like, seriously. I had a deep dive. I watched parts of the director's cut. I was like, what is the semblance of this? All that. Oh, my God, bro. This movie had me deep dive so much. I was like, I can't believe I'm doing this dumb shit. I really can't. I can't believe I'm doing a research paper on a movie that I don't even care about. Like, the fact that
I was like that.
Dude, the fact that they had Loomis such an asshole, and then you come to find out through these interviews with Rob Zombie, oh, well, it's grief and yada yada, and he's pushing away from his trauma and pushing everyone away from him. I'm like, that's cool. However, did it explain it in the movie? Did it have a full circle moment? No. He just tried to play Superman and got chewed up. Okay, like, that's a redeeming quality? Absolutely not, bro. After he treated everybody and his assistants and basically kind of got crazy. If you were to explain, because Michael did crush his head in the first one, if you explained there was some brain damage, maybe. Different story, right?
Yeah.
You know, a little bit of amnesia, different personality, whatever. Cool. But no, none of that. Then Lori being super unlikable, which is out of control. And it's just like, I get it. You're traumatized, and now she's being a rebellious punk, and then, you know, finds out that she is you know, Angel Myers is the name they gave her. Stupid. And then they ruined was the moment between her and Michael in the first one as well, because Michael was trying to say, hey, I'm trying to save you from everybody, pretty much, by showing her the picture, and he didn't want to kill her, right? And so the fact of the matter is that once you had her stab him, and then all stuff goes out the window, and there was no him trying to bring her back into the family, but then you have these spirits that are, but they're not spirits, is actually the madness of Michael, but then she shares it, but they both see them. It's out of control. It's just like, dude, if this is madness, it shouldn't be the same. And then if this is madness, those visions, right? It shouldn't be a spookiness there, where it's like, oh, these are goblins and ghouls and shit. It was so weird, bro. And then the ending on the theatrical cut doesn't make sense, because you think she's in a psych ward, right? But they come to find out it's not in a psych ward. That's her mentally dying. But then in the director's cut, you actually see her die, and that's the afterlife for her joining her mom. Dumb.
Oh yeah. Before I switch over to Marcus, I got a sad story for you. So I saw 2 midnight movies and midnight releases back in the day. The first one was Spider-Man 3. And then this one was a midnight movie. So, oh my God, the worst 2 midnight movies ever to go to: Halloween 2 and then Spider-Man 3. Marcus, what do you got?
Bro, hold on. The only thing, before Marcus jumps in, the only thing that I have to say that I kind of liked, but not really, if you want to go into a realism of Michael Myers as I rose my eyes, is that in the director's cut, Michael finally speaks for the first time.
Yeah,
and so what he does is,
Yeah,
instead of him,
which is stupid.
you know, instead of him just cutting up Loomis and then picking him up at the window and they get a clear shot on him, he actually throws Loomis through the wall. It breaks the wall. And when he comes out, he takes off his mask and he finally tells him, just all he says is die. And then we finally see Michael's face for the first time as well. Like, full on, because, you know, usually his hair covers it up. For the first time, you actually see Michael's face, which I was like, okay, I guess if you're going to humanize him, right, that's a pretty cool bit. But a lot of this, I'm telling you, bro, from both director's cut and both theatrical, I was like, this is hot garbage. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Now up to you, Marcus.
So for me, I got this as a filler. because there are a few
All right.
redeeming qualities with this film. Like I love the opening sequence of the hospital paying homage to H2N1. Plus,
Mhm.
Tyler Mane is the only Michael Myers in the entire franchise to kill off an Oscar winner in what's her name?
Really saves the film.
Octavia Spencer.
You just made me
Octavia
spill
Spencer.
my beer. You made me
Yeah,
spill my
he
beer
killed,
over myself. Come on, man.
yeah, he killed Octavia Spencer in that sequence. But I just love that whole hospital sequence. But Laurie
The
was
hospital scene was
unlikable in
really
this.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Laurie was unlikable in this. Uh, Danielle Harris scene and what's my man's name who plays Chucky? Brad Dourif. Uh, especially in the director's cut when he finds her.
Yeah.
Bro, dude, that scene still to this day is gut wrenching, man. Especially in the
Marcus,
director's cut.
I hate to
Huh?
cut you off, right? But you just reminded me of something. So, like Brackett, he freaks out in this movie after whatever happens to Annie. But the same thing happened to her in the first film, and this movie picks up right from that first film. And he saw his daughter, but now he's out looking for Lori. It's like right away I had a bad taste in my mouth. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
But yeah, overall, man, it was just filler. But I feel like all the scenes with Michael outside of the White Horse and Rob putting his wife in there, I thought all the
Mhm.
scenes with Tyler Mane, especially all the kill scenes were I love the kill scenes. I thought Tyler Mane was awesome in this one. But just the concept and execution of the story as a whole, yeah, I wasn't the biggest fan of it. I was fortunate to be able to go back home to Atlanta and go to the Halloween concert when they filmed in the barn. So that was a cool experience for me. When I went home for that, I got invited to that, which was cool.
That's bias. You see, that's bias, Dave. Put it in the trash. That's biasness right there.
But yeah, overall, man, it wasn't too good of a film overall. But the cool thing, and I don't know if Danny, you figured this out when you were doing your research. So originally, because of the fact that Rob Zombie wanted the movie to be one and done with 2007, originally when he got contracted to do this one, the whole movie was supposed to take place all in Laurie's head, where she was supposed to be locked up in the asylum. And I wish
That would have been better.
that they would have. Yeah, I wish they would have gone that route because it would have eliminated the whole White Horse thing and everything.
Well,
with the
You
mom.
know why
based
they
on
did-
what was
but did you
happening
know
throughout
why
the
they
film, it
didn't
would
do
have made
that?
the most amount of sense.
Yeah,
but
it
you know
was.
why they didn't do that?
It was Weinstein and then some other stuff.
There's one more.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
But-
Weinstein wanted a Halloween 3D. That's why for
Yep.
3.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
that's why he made him change all that. And I think that is the dumbest move because
Yeah.
regardless, this reception was so terrible that the 3 didn't get greenlit.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
Come
I
on,
think
man.
he set out to ruin it so the 3 wouldn't happen because he didn't originally want to come back for 2. And it's like,
Yeah.
all right, if you're
Yeah.
gonna do 2, I'll come back for it, but then I'm gonna make sure that nobody does a 3.
Mhm.
But let's take a look at our comments out there. So we got CG. Okay, Rob Zombie Halloween 2. I liked it because it was brave, going a different way of Myers. Take out the White Horse nonsense. I enjoyed the respectful, different approach for sure.
I could give.
And then the White Horse, when they explained it in the beginning, is supposed to be Michael's rage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, White
We got
Rage.
So,
Travis
Travis.
Mitchell. How's it going, Travis? I have intentionally only seen the theatrical Rob Zombie cuts, despite the director cuts being on my box set. And, honestly, I didn't know I was watching the director's cut of the first Halloween until I brought it up to these guys in a chat. It's like,
Yeah.
what the hell happened to this scene? Did they cut things out on Peacock? And Marcus is like, no, that's the theatrical cut because I was too poor to go to the theaters at the time, so I only ever seen the director's cut. And then let's see what else we got here. We got another comment floating around.
I gotta pay
find
more
it.
to see less.
We got William.
Rolling over in his grave.
William
yeah.
Loomis rolling over his grave. Yes, Donald. Right, Donald Pleasance. Yo, that dude is literally rolling his grave. You're damn right. Yeah,
So, it was Malcolm McDowell that actually initially came up with the idea of making Loomis an asshole in this one.
dude. Still, oh,
Because they both collaborated on making this a shit show. So
I know,
Malcolm
but
McDowell
still.
was like, what can we do to just really make this a shit show? So, yeah.
Guys, I
Alrighty,
think the
so
next
Noah.
podcast we do is talking about whether or not
wait,
Rob Zombie's actually a
Dave.
good movie maker.
He's not. Oh, there we go. I was gonna say, Halloween ends. All right, there we go.
Podcast ended.
Yep. All right, Noah, you get to kick us off in the
Give me a sec.
Way Home Halloween 2018.
Oh, Lord, y'all gonna hate
Ooh,
me.
see that's a tough one, right? Because it is a really, really good movie. I will say I really enjoyed it. I will not put it at perfection though. I will say that it is a must watch because it is a really good movie. But there are elements about the movie that I just didn't like Laurie's daughter. She was just annoying. She really did suck.
Karen. She lived up to her name, Karen.
Yeah, the boyfriend and like the teen drama stuff that they have to put in horror movies nowadays, it's just always annoying. I don't like seeing that stuff in there. It's just a waste of time, and that is filler scenes. So I would put it at a must watch because overall, really good callbacks, really nice suit. I love the mask. The kills were great. Most of the scene, like and the movie in itself was just a really good movie. I really enjoyed the remake of Halloween. I thought it was really good. Also, I was gonna point out, I love how you didn't initially have Halloween Ends on here, and it's because it's so bad that it just couldn't even make the lists. The lineup of movies we're discussing, but yeah, okay. So
All right,
I would say a must watch is my final
Marcus, go
opinion.
ahead. All right, Marcus,
I put
what
it.
do you?
I put it as a acceptable time waster. I wasn't the biggest fan of it.
Oh,
Yeah, I wasn't
Interesting.
the biggest fan of it. I love James Juice Courtney as Michael. I again, this was another movie that has so much BTS issues that it changed the perspective for me. Like
of course,
the
Jamie
original,
Lee Curtis is attached to it.
yeah, like the original ending was supposed to have Laurie and Michael fighting out in the field. That's what you see in the movie trailer.
Yeah,
But because it
yeah,
didn't
yeah.
test well with the audience, they didn't like that ending, so we got what we got. But I would have preferred
You
the
just
other-
made the list, my friend. Oh,
yeah, I
you just
preferred the
made the
other
list. I
ending
hate you.
because you didn't know whether Michael or Laurie survived in the ending. I would have preferred that. But I still say one of the best shots in all of the franchise was that one shot that of Michael going through Haddonfield and just taking people out left and right. To me, that's still one of the most beautiful shots in a lot of films, especially in this past decade. So I really enjoyed that. But yeah, man, it was just an acceptable time waster for me, man. It didn't do much for me.
Well, let's not forget the ending sequence. Well, while it wasn't originally what we were supposed to get, just seeing him peer up out of the basement.
Yeah,
while
that
he's
was cool.
in the fire,
Yeah.
and then
That was
he's
cool.
just gone. It's like, well, how the hell did he do that? That's
Yeah.
scary as hell.
All right,
And
Danny,
then
where you got
the
this going?
dad, dude, like how you gonna joke as a father? How you gonna joke with your teenage daughter talking about, oh, I got peanut butter on my penis or something like that?
Yep.
Or something like that.
Nope.
That was weird.
Nope.
That was weird.
Yeah, there are limits to jokes with specific family members, and I think talking about putting peanut butter on androgynous zones is not something that I would discuss with my children.
Exactly.
Nope. All right, Danny, how about you?
If you do so, make it cheesy, like, hey, on my wee wee or something. You know what I mean? Like, don't. That was like a little too graphic for me. It's like, damn, dog. All right. Dude, it's a must watch for me. It's definitely a must watch for me.
All
And
right.
the reason why it didn't hit perfection was because of pacing issues. And this one, you got the feel of the original. Again, I love the feel of the original Michael. Like I said, now you feel like he's the shape. The only thing that I had a trouble with as well was, as beautifully as that was shot, Marcus, now he's not the shape. Now he's a human.
Yeah.
Just walking around.
Yeah.
And that's the issue that I had in Halloween 2. You know what I mean? It's just like, dude, he should be popping in and out, scary that you don't know he's out, right? They're all freaking out. They're like, oh, the bus crashed. Where is he? He shouldn't be just walking around because someone's going to notice this dude. You know what I mean? So for me, that's the only problem with it. But other than that, it was really good, dude. I was like, yes, we're going back to the original formula. And there was no rhyme or reason either. And on top of that, you see that Michael's not obsessed with Laurie. I
Mhm.
love that.
Mm.
It was the doctor that was obsessed. Like, there must be a connection. There must be a connection. There's no fucking connection,
Uh-huh.
dude.
Dang.
He just does what Michael
Oh,
does.
he was so
No,
annoying too.
Yep.
no rhyme or reason. And I knew that doctor was evil immediately as he sounded like an Igor, like I was like, dude, that dude, that I was like, man, what a way to not have a plot twist. If he was like
Mhm.
calm and loving like Loomis was, like, oh my god, this is my
Mhm.
patient, I love him, da da da. Then have that plot twist, different story. But to have him straight out acting creepy the way he did, I was like, yeah, that is a no go for me, dog. But yeah, I loved everything about it. Um, some of the deleted scenes I would have loved to see, like so Lori in the deleted scene when she's in the range shooting, when she goes into the house and she cocks the gun, the rifle, and then it cuts. The deleted scene is she takes the handgun, puts a single bullet, basically plays Russian roulette, and she puts it on her chin
Mhm.
because she wants to basically end it all. And then you see Michael in the in his faint. You have to look at it. He's in the closet watching her,
Mhm.
which is dope. It's just
And
like, so again,
don't forget the Smith Squirrel shot too, where she's sitting in the truck and he's creeping up on the side.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Door. Yeah.
But now you get into the thing. Is that really him? Because at the
Mhm.
time he's supposed to be locked up, right? Is that really him, or is
Mhm.
that a figment of her imagination, right?
Uh-huh.
So that I liked, man. A couple of deleted scenes, I'm glad they stayed deleted, but like you said, the original them fighting it out would have been good. It would have been a good ending to have this as the final Halloween, to
Mhm.
Laurie's story with him. But
Mhm.
man, like I said, it was close to perfection. And without the, like I said, if it wasn't for the pacing issues and it wasn't for making him a little too human, I would have put it at perfection. It was good. It
Especially
was
with the
really, really good.
escalation of how he was just immune to all damage in the second film. Like it was just such a leap.
Oh my God, yeah. We're gonna
Hugely
talk about
huge.
that, I'm
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
I'm right there with you, Danny. I'm like almost at perfection, so I will drop it into a must watch, and that's where we'll land for this one because
Nice.
it starts out so good. The movie, it
Hmm.
really does. It's playing out really nice. I like how everything's explained. Marcus, to your point, when he's going through Haddonfield, I love that, especially the shot where he's looking in the window. You see that
Mhm.
reflection. You don't see him.
Mhm.
I thought that was
Mhm.
all beautiful. But where it kind of starts to fall off is like I don't really like any of the characters in
Hmm.
No,
this movie. And then
no.
as we get
Except Julius.
further, except for who?
Julius, the little boy, the little
Oh
kid.
yeah,
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, no,
he's
he's
that's
cool.
fine.
fun. Yeah.
Besides him, though, I would have to add, Dave, before you continue. I would have to add, I love the reporters, and I love that they got killed.
The
Like
podcasters,
those,
Yep.
yeah, I feel like
yeah,
that. And I
those
wish they would
those
have kept the
people,
deleted
I
scenes for
was
them.
really
Mhm.
interested in, and for them to get killed off right away, I was like, "Fuck, no!" Like, you know what I
Mhm.
mean? And then the other characters, you're right, they're not that interesting.
Mhm. Now, it's funny that you bring up the reporting scene because that's really where you see like the boogeyman aspect of Michael Myers come up because you see him in the background here and there, and if you're not paying attention, you're not going to see him, but he's
Thank
there,
you, thank
and
you.
that was done very, very, very well. But
When
as
he
we're
kills the
getting,
mechanic in the back.
yeah, exactly,
When he kills
exactly.
mechanic, when the dude was talking to the guy at the register, if you're not
Mhm.
paying attention in the background, you see Michael killing the mechanic in the background.
Oh yeah, and even when the guy's pumping the gas, you see a silhouette of
Yo, him just walking.
him walking past them in the background.
Hmm.
So I thought
And
that was great. But then we get through.
the old woman that was sitting in that truck too, is like giving the guy the
Yep.
eyes, like, "Hey,
Yeah,
there's
like,
something going
hey,
on
Mhm.
behind you."
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I thought that was really good, and then we get to the end of the movie, and we really start to see the stupid stuff come out. Like
Yeah.
I was mentioning this to Noah earlier today, right? The whole safe basement, right? Like, come on, right? We got a safe basement in there. We stock it
Mhm.
full of guns and all this stuff just to make sure that it's a trap. Let's give Michael every single weapon that you own, right? What the hell's the matter with you?
Thank
And
you.
then Allison's mother to lure him down there. She's such an asshole the entire movie. She's like a fragile little person. It's like, oh, surprise, motherfucker! I got you caught. Like you were faking the whole entire movie. He wasn't watching you the whole entire movie. So like, where's the character shift coming from? That really annoyed me. And then as everything gets set on fire, the fire actually engulfs where he is standing at the exact moment. And then in the next movie, we find out that he's hidden behind a door. Please, I don't want to hear any of that crap. But
Yeah.
honestly, if you look at this trilogy and if you connect it to the Curse of Halloween Michael Myers, it makes this entire trilogy better because it's about the evil escaping and transforming the entire
Yeah.
town. Just like when the doctor put the mask on, he flips, and we see it come up a lot later as well.
Yes.
Ugh.
No,
You
I
know
agree.
what?
I agree with you. And if I'm not mistaken, the original intention in this script, I could be wrong, guys, so you can fact check me on this. But the original intention of the script was that to do the evil that we were talking about the boogeyman. Besides just hearing him at the post credit scene of him breathing, the original post credit scene is the house is actually burnt down to the ground, and then
Mhm.
you don't hear the breathing until the firefighters start digging around, and then you hear the and there's like, fuck,
Mhm.
he's alive, god damn, which gives you the
Mhm.
reminiscence, like you're saying, of Halloween 2 to 4, that even though this bitch is burnt, he's still alive.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Incredible.
Yep. Yeah, let's see. So we got some comments out there. So we got Devontae. Halloween 2018 sucks. Lori's
Damn,
arc
dude.
made no sense given she only faced Michael in H1. Exactly. Half the
Yeah.
characters and the sheriff was bland and useless. Soundtrack was awful too. Rocky, no thanks. Now I did like the Halloween kills, the Halloween theme in this one because it's combined with the Purge. I thought that
Mhm.
was really cool.
Mhm.
We got
Oh,
Michael.
when he stalks Allison, yeah, I did like that
Mhm.
piece.
I like the
Y'all
Purge
talking-
piece that
yeah.
was added in. So we got, yep, a lot of stupid characters in this one.
Julius was the highlight of the movie, man. Come on.
Yeah.
Big Pete, hello, how's it going? I feel like Laurie's character in 2018 would have made more sense in ends as far as the
Yep.
PT.
Yeah, with a
Yep,
time gap.
exactly.
Absolutely. Like, so
Mhm.
the thing that this is why I liked H2O too. To some of your guys' point, this is why it's not perfection for me, right? It's definitely a good time. It's a must watch. Again, pacing issues and all that. But this is why I like H2O. You see her traumatized. If this
Mhm.
movie was still kind of like H2O traumatization, um,
Mhm.
Mhm.
that we see why she prepped. If it wasn't just the obsession with Michael, if she just prepped from the experience of Michael, like, hey, the world is a dangerous place. You
Mhm.
know what? I'm gonna prepare just in case. It's a
Mhm.
different story, right? But like you were saying, if it was just solely for Michael, then have an H2O that instead of her angry, it's more of a traumatization. He comes back, furthers that, and then the switch flips, and is like, yep, now I'm ready to end this mofo, right? Because
Mhm.
I'm done being like this. Different story, but yeah, that's a good take. Like
I
it.
just wasn't a
Mhm.
fan of the role reversal where the previous franchise of films, Michael is obsessed with her, and now
Mhm.
she's obsessed with him, and he's like, I don't even know, like he
Yep.
doesn't even bat an eye at him. You know,
She was an
It's like
antagonist
Thanos.
too. Yeah, she
It's
was
like
an
yeah,
Thanos.
antagonist too.
I don't even know who you are.
yeah, exactly. Until you
That's
shot my hand, like, yeah,
Yep.
Yeah, right.
That's the
Yo,
problem with the trilogy. There's no protagonist. They're all antagonists in this film.
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
And Marcus, to your point, dude, I swear to God, I said this and as a joke, and I laughed. I was just like, this dude, when he was trying to grab her and she shot his hand, he's like, I just want to kill you. This bitch shot my hand, and now it's on.
Yep, it's on now, boy. It's on now.
Yep.
You don't woke up the beast now, boy.
Ah,
Mhm.
so we got the pressure that's on. So we got Peter saying Halloween Kills better get a good rating from one of you. That movie was badass looking back. All right.
Peter,
So
just because
All
you
right,
said
let
that,
me
I'm putting
start
it in the
that one.
trash.
Let me start that one off. Then.
Don't tell me what to do. I
all
can
right.
rank it wherever I want.
All right. So Marcus, you get to kick us off on kills.
Oh, Marcus.
So 4 kills and who was that made that comment? CG?
Peter.
Peter.
Oh,
did.
Peter. For Peter, I'm actually going to rate Halloween Kills over 2018. One because of just the
Oh.
pure. So I'll put it at like surprisingly decent. Because overall the pacing of the film was good, even though the story itself was just lackluster. The pacing of the film was good. Michael was terrifying in this film. He wasn't the shape like Danny keeps bringing up, but we didn't want him to be the shape in this. He was just out on a rampage in this one, and I was cool with that. The whole evil dies tonight thing got on my damn nerves with this movie. But I felt like the kills were brutal. It was good. It was beautifully shot. The score was good. Like you all said with the previous one, there was no antagonist in this film at all. I felt the flashback, especially in the extended cut, to 78 was brilliant. That was like beautifully done. So
Ooh, I have a gripe
overall,
with
I
that.
actually
We'll talk.
okay. I actually enjoyed the film overall as a whole, um, more so than 2018. So, but I did not like the whole supernatural element where he was just invincible in this film. I did not like that, but I did like that. Oh, we finally got a mix of Rob Zombie with Tyler Mane, just the brutality of Michael, seeing his like true brutality, and I love that. So yeah,
I'm gonna have to be Danny here for a minute. I'll flip the
There
ball
we
backwards.
go. Yeah, buddy.
Oh my god, this movie is the biggest piece of shit in the entire franchise, just above ends. So there's my spoiler for where I'm going with ends. My god, so right now it's dropping down to acceptable time wasters, but
I'm with
Evil
that.
Dies Tonight. The whole
Yeah, that
thing
was
is
that was horrible.
absolutely horrible. It's
That was
horrible.
horrible.
Tommy Lee Jarvis, Tommy Jarvis, his character horrible. He's like a running for the mob here. I'm gonna get a bat. I'm gonna go rough people up, dude. Horrible. And then the dialogue during the whole hospital scene, like Laurie's all gun ho to kill this guy, right?
Hmm.
The red herring Michael Myers, right?
We
And
got
then
to
she was
fight.
like, "Oh my god, that's not him! You sheep, stop! That's not him! Everybody stop!" The guy dies. Her daughter comes downstairs and says, "Oh, he's dead." And Laurie's like, "Oh, he's not dead. Let's go find the real one." Bitch, you just said he wasn't him. So now why are you surprised? Like, did
Rest
they
in
shoot
peace to that
everything out of
actor
order?
too. By the way, rest in peace to that actor. He passed away like right
Yeah.
before
Ah,
release. Yeah,
You know, I get that, but it doesn't fit in the film. Like, not everybody's gonna catch that piece. It throws the entire whole sequence that
Well, the
she
red
just
herring has
had,
nothing to do
saying
with
that it
him. Has
wasn't
everything to
him.
do with how they wrote
the mob
Laurie's.
mentality.
Yeah, Lori, her daughter, her granddaughter are all god awful. I hate all of
Yep.
those characters in it. Lindsay was probably the best character to come back, and they really didn't do much with her in it. And then you get the
Wednesday.
ending, right? Before the ending actually happens, let's review something here, right? So by the end, before he goes and meets the mob, Michael was hit by a car. He was trapped in a burning house. He was shot in the body. He was stabbed in the stomach 3 times. He was stabbed
Mhm.
in the back with a pitchfork. Then he had his face stopped on a pair of steps, but he's walking around pain free. The dude's like unstoppable.
That's why I
That's it.
said that I didn't like. Yeah, I
That's
didn't
it.
like that part.
Nope.
But
Garbage, garbage, garbage. Noah, where you go with this one?
So I'm putting it at surprisingly decent for one reason only. The kills were cool. I thought
Mhm.
that like the violence and the action is what really just makes it watchable.
Yeah.
Other than that, it was really stupid. How are you? So in the first one, we were originally supposed to get Lori. I'm pretty sure Lori's supposed to die in the first one. They decide not to kill her to bring her in the second one, and then they do fuck all with her character. Like she's in the hospital the entire time. What is the point of having her in the movie? And then at the end, they have them all fighting Michael Myers and beating the ever living hell out of him. And like, oh, these guys don't get it, but we know that he's fueled by evil is basically what they're saying. And then he basically has a Super Saiyan charge up, kills all of these this entire mob, and then at the end for some reason the mom gets murdered.
Good. I was happy.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Like that's fine. I didn't care about the character, but it seemed like weirdly placed for that was in there. So like the
Well,
action sequences in general, I really like those. I thought those were good. That's the only redeeming quality for this movie. I think everything else about it was just very, very rushed and poorly written.
nephew, you saw the extended cut where after he kills Karen, Lori calls and he picks up her cell phone and he's just breathing on the phone, and that's how Lori finds out that she's dead.
I did
Yeah.
see that. However, we're not supposed to be reviewing those ones officially. And while that is a much better ending, since the theatrical release was not that, it was just stupid, then I have to go based off of that one.
No, I'm with you.
All right, Danny.
Because the director's
Danny, where you
cut
got us?
ending is better.
all right. So
Danny, you're
There's
gonna
a
ship
couple of-
this.
yeah. So it's a must watch. It's a must watch.
Really?
For me. Yeah.
All right.
And there's a couple of different things. I definitely liked that you still kind of get the shape vibes because like, oh, he keeps playing, peekaboo with us and all this other jazz, right? From time to time. I do at times, Dave knows this, you guys know this. I'm definitely a pacing guy. I'm definitely I definitely like my kills. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be brutal or gory, but some of the kills are one of the best in the franchise in this one, dude.
Yep.
I mean, the whole thing, this girl comes up with a gun and he fucking kicks the door so the gun hits her and
It's
shoots
just
her in the
the
face.
tactician and intelligence that you're talking about
Yeah,
before.
the stab in the eye. A lot of callbacks, a lot of Easter eggs to the franchise, though, which is amazing. I mean, you have Halloween 3 masks, in it, which was amazing. You had a lot of callbacks to the original, which I absolutely loved. The whole thing, though, is that the reason why, again, it's not decent because I enjoyed it. It's slightly above decent. Does that make sense? Like it's not near perfection whatsoever. But there was a lot of stuff that I didn't like. So there was a fan film, if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong. There was a fan film that was called Halloween Inferno. Way before this came out. And they took a lot from that fan film in this one, which I had a huge gripe with. I was like,
Well,
why
yeah,
are
bullshit?
I was like, why are we taking stuff from a fan film that's not even yours? You know what I mean? Didn't even give him honorable mentions, none of that. And you're using it as your own story, kind of, because if I'm not mistaken, Inferno, you start with it ends with one, he falls out the window, and then it shows the cops showing up and the cop fighting Michael in the house and stuff like that. And it's just like, dude, I'm like, this is a huge hurt to the heart for independent filmmakers like myself that do like fan films and stuff like that. Obviously, we want to do good, we want to be recognized, yada yada. But when a studio just automatically just takes your shit and it's like, well, it's not your IP anyway, right? It's a big kick in the nuts, But I like the brutality. Like I said, I like the eeriness too. Like when Michael was in the bathroom and the little drone went inside, and it got thrown back. I was like, oh hell no! If a drone got thrown back to me, I'm like, peace. You know what I mean? I'm out. I'm not even checking it out. I'm like, dude, there's someone in my house. I'm calling the cops. I'm running. Right? But Michael being this unstoppable force kind of goes with what Carpenter originally said, but I think it was over way too much. It's to the point, when does the vessel die before evil jumps into the next vessel, right? But it's
Unless you want to
almost
argue that it's empowering it.
True, and that's supposedly what the whole thing about kills was, is that the more he kills, the stronger he gets. But then to that point, then end doesn't make sense because then he's fucking super weak and dying. And ends.
No, it's explained in there.
It is, but you understand what I'm saying? It's like, oh well, he went into hiding for all these years. He hasn't killed anybody. That's why he's dying and yada yada. I get it, but dude, the point I'm trying to make is that it almost plays on the horror trope that if you don't shoot him in the head, right, then they're still alive. And it's just like, but the point of Michael again was, is he human? Is he not human? You're not supposed to find out. But when you're shooting him a million times and beating him with a bat and stabbing him and and he's just going, you're like, that's definitely a supernatural being. Like, there's no other way to explain it, right? And then there was nothing about a cult, like Dave said. If there was the cult of Michael Myers, that he can't die because he's evil incarnate in this vessel, no matter what happens, right? Then ends makes sense of just destroying the vessel entirely in the grinder, right? But there's nothing to that. So for me, it's a must watch because I enjoyed it. But again, it's slightly above surprisingly decent, just slightly. Like any other gripes I would have with it, it would definitely just be a decent movie to me.
All right, so we got Peter out there. So how do I get off saying Kills is the worst movie when Ends Myers was depicted as a crippled old male with a zero strength, bro? So look, I'll give it to you this way. So any movie that I go to see is an escape from reality that's out there. Like, I don't care for drama movies because there's drama in real life. But you figure the climate of our society at that time when this movie came out was depicted
the COVID
in the
thing.
movie too. Not just the COVID, but all the riots and stuff that was going on.
Yep, absolutely.
And people just following along with stuff. And that was in the movie. It's like, dude, I'm coming to your movie not to think about that bullshit. And now you're putting it right in my face. And that's what kind of ruined it for me, Peter.
And Peter, I'm agreeing with you. It's not the worst. To me, still to this day, even though I hate Ends, Resurrection is the worst thing possible. But yeah, Halloween Kills. I definitely enjoyed it. I don't agree with Dave on that one, but Dave has a really, really good point. That's one of the things I did not enjoy about the movie.
Hey Pete, you
All
got
right.
to think the reason why
Yep.
Lindsay put all those bricks in. James Drew Courtney is a big dude. He's a big dude, man. And then also as far as the nurse, I forgot her character's name.
She can't
Carmella
shoot. She
McGill
didn't
is
know
the
how to
real
handle it.
actor. She didn't know how to handle the gun, even though she
Yeah, she
portrayed
didn't know how
like
to
she
shoot.
handled it.
Yeah,
I found it funny. Random.
nobody knew how to
Right.
do anything. Like again, the lady putting the bricks in is because like Marcus said, this is a big fucking guy that is an unstoppable force that everybody's doing everything they can to kill him and it's not working. So it's just like, why don't we give him a little extra? And it still didn't work, right? But
Mhm.
as you see everyone in the car, like the original nurse and everybody else, no one knew what to do. She's just shooting bullets through the roof. Didn't know what to do. Didn't know how many bullets are in the gun. You know what I mean? With that one is a 6 count, and then she's like, "This is for Loomis," and it's like, "Bang! Oh, there's nothing in there, right?" And she freaked out. Like none of these people knew what to do, And so that's more realistic in that sense. So yeah, but the Evil Dies Tonight was just dumb. I hated it. Evil Dies Tonight.
Yeah.
Evil
I
Dies
think
Tonight.
one of the issues too is like random bricks in the park where kids play. So we got CG saying that it's a must watch. The only thing that I'll say before we switch over to ends is like we have the news report that comes on and they show the escaped convicts and the news stations reporting on them, but there's
And
no
they
names in the
obscure his
pictures.
face.
Yep.
But there's
Well,
no
they
names in
obscure
the
his
picture.
face too. Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right.
Yeah, you would think that would be
When
a
does that
little
happen in
important.
reality? Yeah, when did that happen in reality? Well, we don't know who these patients are, so we're just going to flash their faces on the screen.
All
Okay.
right.
All right. So, Marcus, you get to bring us home
Don't
with
you
Halloween
dare.
Ends.
Don't you dare, dog.
Unwatchable garbage for me, man. Unwatchable
Yes.
garbage.
All right.
It was just. That's all I gotta say. That movie was horrible, man. From
Yeah, it was
beginning,
bad.
yeah,
It was really
it
bad.
was.
That's
It was
all you got
terrible.
to say.
Dude. That's all I gotta say.
Oh,
dude.
yeah. We go from the traumatized Lori to her baking cookies and being all
Sweet
happy and go
homemaker.
lucky.
It's
Yep.
it's the progression of Carol's character from The Walking Dead, just shittier.
Well,
Yep,
I will say I
exactly.
did enjoy the final fight between them, but that was it. That was it.
All right. I'm going to drink to that one. Sure.
Dude, Marcus, with all your choices, I am 4 beers in, dog. Are you serious right now
Well,
to say
not
that?
4 full beers because some of it's on your shirt.
Yeah. I got
Yeah,
a quarter.
Marcus made us spit out one of the drinks.
We had
Now,
casualties. We had casualties.
So now,
We did.
outside of the whole Lori situation, this is where we get to see the evil spread through the town. Oh, Halloween 6, here we go. If we tie it all together, it all makes sense and it makes it a lot better. But then, we have Old Man Myers in the sewer who passes evil to Corey by staring him in the eye
God.
after Corey gets beat up by the evil band crew. It's like, oh. And
Ghost
then,
Rider. Ghost Rider.
He gave him the
Fishing
people.
your
He gave him the
soul.
people's.
and
He did the Dracula. He did the Dracula.
I don't say
Yeah,
blah, blah, blah.
And just like Halloween 6, it feels like we have time jumps because Allison becomes obsessed with him. It's like, dude, you just met him. It feels like you've been in a relationship for months, but you're trying to break him out of his shell and all this other nonsense. And then
She could change.
the funeral procession at the end, Jamie Lee Curtis got her freaking wish where she gets to end Michael Myers in the movie definitively by dropping him in the damn grinder there. My
God,
God.
this was awful. This was awful.
Noah. I stopped. I left it on in the background, but as it has some good kills, but as we get towards the end, it's like I gotta find something else to do because I'm just getting mad now.
Unwatchable garbage.
Noah, where are you going?
Unwatchable
All right,
garbage. Just leave it where it's at right now.
I think all of us agree. I think all of us agree on that one.
First off, I think it's abysmal that we're only gonna have one Halloween movie in the unwatchable garbage section when that should be filled.
Yes,
However, this movie, so I actually did try to watch it. I turned it off within like the first 10 minutes. It's bad. It's so bad. Like it's just so stupid. Yeah, it's less of a Halloween movie than movies that don't even have Michael Myers in it. And we've tried to make a point that Michael Myers does not need to be in the movie for it to be Halloween. but this just isn't like this is just like all right, we have some semblance of a script. Like put it out now. It's like well hold on, we're only like we're like how put it out. We need the cash grab. Like what happens? I don't understand how we got from point A to point P, which is poo, out my ass into the toilet. Like this was just so shit. I don't get it. I would love for Mr. McBride to tell us.
Originally, they were supposed to include COVID in it too, so thank God they didn't do that. All right, Danny. So
Michael had to take a break from killing. He was social distancing.
yeah.
Michael
Oh my God.
Michael Myers was dying because of COVID. That's why. He was dying of COVID. Had to pass it on. No, dude. Here's my problem.
The real evil wasn't the shape. It was COVID.
It was COVID. No, the thing I hate about this movie, man, is that despite 1 and 2 being so different from each other, 3 was like a clusterfuck of ideas into one. That's what it felt like. It was just a clusterfuck of ideas. Like, hey, maybe we should do this. No, maybe we should do that. No, maybe we should do this. The Michael doing literally, like we were all saying, the Ghost Rider or fucking, Dracula, whatever stare was probably the dumbest
penance.
thing ever. The penance. It's the dumbest thing ever. I mean, let's say for instance he wasn't transferring it to this kid, and maybe evil recognized evil. Cool, but there was nothing evil about. No, but evil. Again, is still he wasn't evil. Corey was just a fucking. He was just getting jumped, and you know what I mean. He was just some kid getting bullied, and that doesn't personify evil at all.
Mom.
Yeah, an overbearing mom, dude. That's nothing. That's why I'm glad he killed him off, but it was nothing to be, oh my God, this is the next Michael Myers. You know what I mean? Laurie finally having her day. Again, if we want to go with that, their fates are intertwined. Like, let's say that again, Michael didn't care about her. She's obsessed in this one, but again, she's crazy to think that. And which I loved about the first one was just that when the mom and the daughter were telling the stories, was 2 completely different stories. He's obsessed with my mom. He's always following my mom. Blah, blah. And the granddaughter's like, nah, it was the doctor. The doctor was the one that brought him over, right? Because the doctor was obsessed. That's a pretty cool take on realism of telephone game, right? But if we want to go that no matter what, that their fates are intertwined, then they can't be without each other. That means if Michael dies, Laurie should die, right? And then
down with him.
Yeah, and then there should have been something there of even insinuating that, especially when it insinuated already from the first one that Laurie had glimpses that she was acting like Michael, staring through the window, right? And then in the third one, when she's talking to Corey, she just automatically disappears, right? Like that would have been cool to see why they're connected, but it's never explained. None of that. It was just a clusterfuck of ideas, dude, and it was just the pacing was horrible too. Unlikable characters is just it's not a film. It's hey, let's just create some of our ideas in one garbage. But the one thing that I do have to say is I even said it to Dave before, and now I'm saying it on a podcast. So if anyone takes this idea, you're welcome. All right, because I've said it before. How they should have ended Halloween to make this in a pretty bow, or even transferring evil, is let's say the vessel, like we were saying, is dying, right? Michael is dying. That's it. Like finally, but he either, he travels through town, goes to an orphanage, and you see a kid just like him, isolated by himself, staring out the window, all this other jazz, right? And Michael takes him by the hand, they walk off or whatever. And it's not explained. Doesn't need to be explained. And then when Laurie finally kills him and he takes his last breath, the kid kills her, and it starts to cycle all over again. Or one of the guys that we interviewed, what was his name again, Dave?
David J. Stevie.
David J. Stevie from Behind the Mask. He had a good idea too. When I told him this idea, he was just like, or what if that they end up killing each other, right? And then all of a sudden, when Michael takes his last breath, you hear a breath inhale, and it's just some random kid off in the middle of nowhere that's not Haddonfield, right? To show that evil can't die, right? And that's a cool way of doing it too. And it's just like, this story should have ended that if we're playing with their fates intertwined, both of them had to go.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them
Yeah.
had to go.
I agree 100%.
That was it.
Well,
So
the
Yes.
other thing that bothered me with this trilogy too, Hawkins should have been dead and shouldn't even came back in Halloween Kills or this one.
he should have died. He should have died the first time, dude.
The man
died
got
the first
ran
time.
over and his throat slit.
Yep.
So,
Dude,
like, dude,
and then was he? If I'm not mistaken, his leg wasn't even mangled or anything in the second one.
yeah,
and they
'cause
showed him getting
Sartain
run
ran
over.
him. Yeah,
Yeah.
Sartain ran over. Yeah.
Dumb.
So Devontae makes a great comment here. So no Halloween ends established. He took people into the sewers and killing them, so there's no reason he should be so weak. Yes.
Okay, there you go.
The,
Fair
He
enough.
only took one
the
person.
bum says that. No, the bum says that he brings people in there. The bum says
Yeah,
that.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Now he also was locked up for 40 years and didn't kill and just came out fine. So that's a great point. Like I didn't
Yeah,
think about
thank
that
you.
before, right?
Thank you, Devontae.
Right,
That's actually a
because-
good point. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, because we see him power up when he makes that kill with Corey, but then like
Yeah,
he
all
wasn't
that
killing when
twitching
he
he was
was
doing.
captured. Yep. Yeah. So it's like, yeah, there's another big plot hole in there. He just made me hate the movie even more. Thanks.
Yep.
So I
He
remember
goes,
when they started pitching this before 2018 even came out. Originally, it was supposed to only just be the two films, and then after 2018, that's when they decided to do the third one. But yeah,
yeah,
initially
money.
it's supposed to be just those two.
hmm
Uh,
Yeah, CG says Ends wasn't such a bad movie, but to be the last between Laurie and Myers and end the trilogy, that's what made it a bad movie. If there was 4 parts and they gave us Ends for 3, I would like it more. All right, and then let's see here. We got a 2-parter here. So the Allison
Yes.
character sucks
Yeah.
too.
Yes.
Yeah, she better not come back to this franchise.
Yes,
She
Michael.
better not.
I'm
She
telling
better
you,
not
everybody
come back.
sucked except for the podcasters and Julius, man. They were the only
Yeah.
3 redeeming people.
Dude, the only
The kills were good in the movie. I did like some of the kills.
No, I mean as far as
Yeah.
characters, as far as the
Yeah,
characters.
characters. Yeah, fuck all the characters.
But you know what though? To be fair, the only way to revive this franchise at all, and it's kind of like Marvel, you know, when they talk about anchor beings like, you know, the Wolverine or whatever. Halloween 1 is the anchor movie. You know what I mean? And Halloween 1, 78 is the anchor movie. If there were to do John Carpenter's original idea and spin off that Michael Myers disappears, no one knows what happens, yada yada, do an anthology of different Halloween movies, kind of like Trick or Treat, right? And then you could bring Michael back wherever the fuck. It could not even be in the United States, it could be the globe. But again, Michael Myers doesn't have to be the human Michael Myers. He just wears the mask. You know what I mean? You could have a bunch of different things of the Shape coming back, the actual boogeyman, to revive this franchise from what it is. But yeah, it's
Or
rough.
the the opposite side of that coin, it was always a rumor that they were going to tie in Season of the Witch, which is the silver shamrock mask and the chips in the mask.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that
No,
is the embodiment of the evil too. Yep.
yeah, that could be good with the chips, or it could even be just the Stonehenge piece.
Yeah.
Bringing Michael back, right? And again, it doesn't even have to be Michael the human, right? It could just bring that evil entity back from Stonehenge into someone else, which is great. That's why I like the ending of 4 of having his niece the new Shape, right? It's pretty cool.
Yep. So yeah, Double Knees. The end was such a disappointment. One of the greatest horror icons get a lackluster ending. It's going to be hard to bring it back. I think if you do bring it back now, it's probably going to have to pick up from Jamie's story. Honestly.
Well, they're talking about doing
fixed.
a whole new series or something. I don't know whether Michael will be involved or whether it
should be an anthology
thing. Yeah.
The problem with the Halloween franchise is that it had so many ideas that brought about so much potential, and then no movie could follow through with it.
Yeah.
And it just gave us what we have, which is really disheartening to see for something that brought about the new, like, the wave of slashers. I mean, you could say Psycho, but like this was Halloween was the movie that kind of started it, we could say, and just to like go back and watch all these movies and to see how bad they are
Yeah.
is honestly kind of heartbreaking to see, because these movies, they
Yeah.
do suck. Most of these movies suck real
Yeah.
bad.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and put
Big
them in order
balls.
now. So we do have our definitive number one, and we have our definitive bottom film, which is conveniently ends. But when we look at our must watch, so we have Halloween 2 and 3. Which one do we think is going to be fitting in at number 2? I'm going with Halloween 2 at number 2.
I'm going with Halloween 3.
I'm
Okay.
going with 2.
I gotta go with 2.
All right. So we got 1, 2, and 3. So now we're dropping down to our 4 and 5. So Halloween
Kills
4.
over
Kills
4.
over 4. Yeah, kills over 4.
Wow. No, what about you?
I'm gonna say 4 over Kills, because 4 actually had a story that I was invested in.
All right, I'm gonna put this out because I'm right there with Noah too. So
Tiebreaker.
anybody out there, yeah, we need a tiebreaker out there. So in this list here, what comes before? Is it Kills at number 4 or Halloween at number 4?
Put it in the chat, boys. Put it in the chat. Let's hear you. Let's see it.
Yep. All right. So while we're waiting for that to come into the chat, let's take a look at our next list here. So H2O and Halloween 2018.
Oh,
2018.
18. Yeah, 2018, definitely.
Okay. Noah, you were at that too?
Yeah, I don't like H2O that much, so absolutely. Oh,
All right.
Kills at 4.
Okay, so we got in comments, we got kills.
Looks like
Yeah.
Kills over 4.
Show it on the screen, Dave. Show it on the screen. Let's see who said kills.
All right,
Yeah,
so we
so
got
you
double
get the shout out.
knees with
Yeah.
kills.
Thank you, double knees.
We got CG
CG.
with kills.
Nice.
Yep.
Thank you,
Yep.
CG.
Oh,
got
thank you, Big
positive
P.
Yeah,
happy
positive.
Yeah,
team
thank you.
kills.
Thank you.
Yes,
Yep.
thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. Look at this. We got something brand new here. We got Big Pete dropping in $5.
Oh,
Thank
thanks,
you
Pete.
very much.
Thanks,
Big
Pete.
Pete. Yo,
You were
Big
the
Pete, you
first.
are the man. Yes.
Boss
Thank you, Big
man.
Pete.
We appreciate that.
We
got a
enjoy
big chat
being
there,
here.
our
Trust me,
first
this is
one
a
ever.
lot of fun. I love blowing out my vocals every Sunday from the arguments. They're great. There's no
Yeah.
place I'd rather be on a Sunday night.
Yeah, it's fun to see Danny spitting beer all over himself. Because
Screw
he
your
doesn't have to
football.
read
real.
Screw
comments.
your pay-per-views. This is the place to be.
Yeah. Where we at?
Hell
The
yeah.
filler section?
All right.
Yeah, filler.
So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're going for number 8. So we got Halloween 5, Curse of Michael
6.
Myers, Resurrection.
6
got
over.
6?
6 over. Yep. I got 6 over 5.
5. Okay.
6 is
I
the
got
last
2000
out of those.
I got 2007 over all of them.
Oh.
Right now I'm with Marcus. Noah?
I think
Like I would
That's
go
tough.
2007. I would go 2007, 6.
I think
Resurrection's
I'm
last
putting
on that
list.
5 is my
Yeah,
favorite.
just like that.
Out of all
Yeah,
these,
I
I
would
put
leave it
5
just like
as my
that.
as 6.
Oh, so we need a tiebreaker between those two. If you and Marcus have Halloween up, so we need a tiebreaker. Everyone in the chat
Wait,
for
hold on.
Halloween 6 and 5.
Oh, yep. All right. I'm good with either or for 5 or 6. So I got
Yeah,
CG
same here.
saying 6 over 5.
Crazy.
Yeah, I don't agree with that myself. But yeah,
6 for
okay.
me would be on the last of
Oh
this.
my God, there's another one. 6 over 5.
Yes,
Okay.
thank
Yeah.
you. So 6 is over
Yep.
5.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. So that's it. 6 over 5. Okay. So we go with 5 here at this
Oh, yeah.
rating.
Yeah, Resurrection's
All right.
last. Resurrection's
Yeah.
last.
That's a tough one.
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Resurrection's
I
last.
I would put
Halloween
Resurrection
2
last
over.
as well.
Yeah, Resurrection's last.
Oh yeah, we
Yeah.
got overwhelmingly 6 over 5. Yeah.
There you go.
Yep.
I guess we're alone.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Even with the doofus cops, I appreciate that more than 6. But all right, so there's our rankings. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Let's see what's going out there with the people that were voting. So let's.
Oh,
see
here
our
we go.
total vote. 399 votes. So we got Halloween 3, and Rob Zombie's Halloween at perfection with 23% of the vote.
Nice.
Let's get rid of this pop-up ad. In a must-watch, we got Halloween 2, Halloween 2018, Halloween H2O, Halloween 4, and Halloween Kills. I don't know, man.
That's fair.
Yeah. Surprisingly decent.
That's
Curse
what I
of Michael
said.
Myers.
Surprisingly decent. Yes, sir.
Yep. Acceptable time waster. We got Halloween 5. We got fillers. We got no garbage, but we got fillers. We got Halloween Ends, Resurrection, and Halloween 2.
Yeah, I'll
And
take
that's
that.
at 23% of the vote. Yeah, so that's everybody's votes. So 399 votes. This will stay up for the rest of the week. We'll start this a little bit earlier next time around. So yeah, this is fun to have everybody kind of interacting with us with these votes. So
Yeah.
next week, I don't know if anybody's seen it out there, but I think it's covered Geekly or Geekly covered. They released a list out there of the 13 goriest kills in horror franchise. So us,
Trash.
the boys, we've been taking a look at that list. Yeah, we don't like the list, so that's what we're going to be
Nope.
talking about next week is that list. And then we'll come back to Terrifier and talk about what we want to see for Terrifier 4 in 2 weeks. But I think our next two rankings, remember, we're trying to get 12 in so that we do one big one in October of next year, is we're going to do a Terrifier ranking in November just to be a little bit easier on us. And then we're in December, so Killer Santa Clauses with Silent Night, Deadly Night. So that will be where we're going next, yeah.
Yes.
And then
And
the New Year,
We do a Scream ranking? Yeah.
not yet. We'll do that in the New Year.
Yeah.
Yeah. And everyone in the chat, thank you for showing up. And if you enjoyed it, please tell everyone that you know to come and check us out when we do these type of things. It really helps out both channels. Definitely grows our audience, and we love to do this for you guys. And again, Big Pete, thank you for the donation, man, being the first one. This is a cool thing. So
true,
thank you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for participating. We enjoy and we love you guys.
Yep.
Yeah, we
Grateful for
love. Thank
guys
you
and-
for tuning in for us.
Yep.
ahead,
Grateful to you
Marcus.
guys. And yeah, like Danny said, check out both shows. Follow Danny's show, follow Nerdbox, and we appreciate you guys.
Yep. Tomorrow, Danny and I have an interview dropping, part 1 of 2. It is an interview with David J. Stevie from Behind the Mask. We're going to get into the pitfalls of screenwriting. We're going to talk a little bit of Halloween in that. And then in 2 weeks, we have a Behind the Mask reunion dropping on the channel, so you want to stay tuned for that. Noah, anything you want to say before we go out? Or, you know what? Take us out, Noah.
Oh, well, you don't have anything else you want to say?
I'm good.
Go check out Terrifier 3
All
next
right.
week or this week.
Yeah. Make sure you check out Terrifier 3. That's coming out soon. Thank you,
And
everybody, so
Scream
much
on
for watching.
October 15th.
And yes, thank you for the donation. As I said it in a joking way, but I genuinely, there is no place I'd rather be on a Sunday night than doing these live streams. I genuinely enjoy doing this and talking with all of you guys and hearing everyone else talking about their opinions on these topics that we discuss every week. I have genuinely missed this, and I'm glad that we're back doing it. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing else that I got to say. So without further ado,
Wait, I got
Peace.
one right here. I got one right here.
go
Here
on.
we go. So
Okay.
everyone, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the little bell button on all for
There you
all
go.
our notifications. That way you're up to date with everything. And like I said, tell everyone and your mom about us. We would love to have you again. All right. So
And
without further
yeah.
ado,
See you.
Say hello.
Get Yoo-hoo on us. We need Yoo-hoo sponsoring. That's what we got. That's our goal.
Hey, dude.